Hello, welcome back to Premier League Dad. How are we all doing? My name's Kee. We are live for the UEFA Champions League again. Rangers against Club Bruge, which is a game we've done on this channel last month, I think. We did this in pre-season. Rangers 2, Club Bruge 2 in pre-season. Good game as well at Ibrox. And we're back again for the rematch. This time in the Champions League. It's going to be an interesting one, this, because obviously Bruges have lost a couple of players since then. Rangers have brought in a couple of players since then. Club Bruges, I would argue, well, they started well. I don't know if they were the better team in the pre-season friendly. Obviously, it's pre-season, but they played well, didn't they? Bruges were very, very good in that pre-season game, for sure. Scored a couple of really good goals as well. And yeah, finished 2-2. So what can we learn from that going into tonight? I don't know, maybe nothing. Maybe absolutely nothing. Declan, how's it going? Declan McEwen, how's it going? Good to see you. Nick Knack, good to see you too. What else are we missing? Irma, good to see you too, Irma. I can see the chat's already coming in. We've got the lineups. I am slightly later starting tonight. But we've got the lineups here for Rangers and Bruges. So let's go through them now. In goal for Rangers, as always, is Jack Butland. It's Aarons at the back, Sutar, Giga and Magoma. In midfield, it's Diamandi, Rothwell and Raskin. And then it's Antman, Danilo Pereira and Gassama. Now, those two up front, I think, well, either side, let's call it, Antman and Gassama on the wings. I firmly believe that those two are, I think, Premier League quality. I think they are very, very good players. Antman, and I mean Diamandi as well. I think they've got a good few players in their Rangers who could really, and that's not like a head patting thing. Rangers are a hugely big club, of course they are. But what I'm saying is, I think the a group of players, the Rangers, who they've got some real talent in there now. It's not maybe the Rangers of years gone by. It is a team that is growing in quality and potential. Dylan, how's it going? Good to see you. Danny, good to see you too. Thank you for the gifts. Ollie, when's the schedule getting updated? Yeah, it should have been today, but I've been poorly again. But yeah, you know what the schedule is anyway. We've talked it out, mate. Celtic, tomorrow. Thursday, we don't know yet because, I don't know, Palace. Palace is going to be on Thursday, sorry. Friday, we know Chelsea, West Ham. So you already know. I've already told you. We've already gone through it. You know when the schedule. You know what the schedule is. They've just not updated them on the thingy. But we have talked them to death, haven't we? So yeah, tomorrow's Celtic. Thursday's Palace. Friday's West Ham, Chelsea. Saturday, we've talked through. We've got the early kickoff Spurs and City. 3 o'clock Burnley, Sunderland. 5:30 is Arsenal, Leeds. And then on the Sunday, it's Man United, Fulham, I think is the 4:30. And who else is the early kickoff on Sunday? Oh, Everton, Brighton. There you go. Everton, Brighton on the Sunday. So there you go. You know exactly what the next week's schedule looks like on this channel. And maybe Monday we'll see. Yeah, I don't know about next Monday. Trent starting for Real Madrid tonight, says Dylan. Is he really? Okay. Max Aaron's doing really well. Do you see Rangers making that a permanent transfer? I do, yes. Obviously, he's an ex-teammate of Russell Martin. Sure he is, isn't he? But he's a good player. Good player, Max Aaron's. So yeah, I imagine he will make that a permanent transfer to Rangers. And I think he's done okay so far. Yeah, so that's your Rangers lineup, by the way. Aaron, Sutar, Giga, Magoma, Diamande, Rothwell, Raskin, Antman, Danilo, Pereira, Gassama. On the bench for Rangers, Thilo Asgard, Barron, Cameron, Finlay Curtis. Again, Finlay Curtis scored a very, very good goal against these in pre-season. So it'll be interesting to see how these play tonight. Kieran Dowell's on the bench too. Fernandez, Gentles, Hutton, Igamane's on the bench. Mikey Moore and Tavernier, as well as Kelly, the goalkeeper. No Dessers tonight. No Sterling, of course, still. For Bruges, it is Mignolet in goal. Ex-Liverpool, Simon Mignolet in goal. Says, Brandon Mekele, Spiliers and Sabe at the back with Onyedika in midfield. Forbes, Solis on the wings. Stankovic in that sort of number 10 position, maybe with Van Aken and Vermont. Romeo Vermont up front, who is a product of the Club Bruges Academy. He did all right last season, but he's come through the Club Bruges Academy. Still only 21 years old, Romeo Vermont. A little bit, I wouldn't say naive, but still not quite there. The important thing to remember from a substitute's point of view with Bruges is that they're maybe two of their best players, maybe their two best players, are actually on the bench tonight. Ludovic Rees, who scored an absolute worldie here in pre-season, he isn't on the pitch today. He's on the bench. I think he's maybe potentially expecting a move. We don't know yet. And a player who is expecting a move for sure is the centre-back, Joel Ordonez. Joel Ordonez is rumoured to be moving to Marseille. He's a player who I would have loved at Liverpool, if I'm dead honest. A very, very talented centre-back. He's on the bench tonight for Club Bruge. Nick Knack, nice that Prime are letting us watch without paying extra for once. That is very, very nice, isn't it? Nick Knack, did you see Darren Farley has added Russell Martin to his repertoire? I haven't, no. To be honest, mate, I don't... Darren Farley annoys me a little bit. I can't remember what it was that he did, but there was a statement or a comment that he made a few weeks ago, and it's a little bit like, ugh. And now he just gives me the ick. So I can't really enjoy his stuff. But yeah, he's good impressionist. Ollie Marley, you've watched a lot of Scottish European games so far. Well, to be honest, in the early European games, it's been the Scottish teams that have been in the qualifiers, hasn't it? Rangers, Celtic, Dundee United, Hibs, and it's produced some amazing games. I mean, really enjoyed it. So, yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. Brandon Murray, how are we doing? Good to see you, Brandon. Let me catch up with the chat. Sorry, one sec. I'm not ignoring you on TikTok. Right. So, Jay Sakini, they were both at Norwich in Martin's last season. Yeah, good shout. Cheers, mate. Fatboy 007, Mouse had no ideas and then put him out wide. He needs to be... Oh, Moyes had no idea and then put him out wide. He needs to be in the middle with Beto. Moyes lacked ideas. He's no better than Dyche. I was there last night and the performance was poor. You was at Ellen Road, was you, mate? Oh, wow. Well, yeah, I was going to say Everton last night I thought were dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. How bad was Moyes and Everton watching that last night? Embarrassing is being nice. I've watched all of the... So I do this anyway. I did this before this channel, but now I feel like having this channel, it's kind of incumbent upon me to educate myself on what the fans of each team are thinking coming into the games. So I do tend to spend a bit of time watching other fan channels, browsing the forums and things like that, getting a general feel for what's going on with the club, so I can at least appear educated to a degree. But yeah, I watched Toffee TV's shout out to Ben and Baz, by the way. I watched Toffee TV's feedback on the game last night, the immediate reaction from both of them, and both of them, to be fair to them, both of them said Leeds deserved to win. It was probably I think Baz said it was the worst Everton performance he'd seen. Certainly in the first half, it was the worst he'd seen in years. Yeah. Joe, let's not act like Leeds didn't play well. I thought Leeds made it difficult, Joe. I thought Leeds made it very difficult. I don't think they played well, though. I still think Leeds would need a little bit more. Leeds didn't fill me with enough confidence last night watching that performance that they're going to stay up. Let's say that. I thought Leeds were good in that they made it difficult for Everton, but Everton were pretty terrible. Up until that penalty, let's be straight, Joe, if it had finished 0-0, nobody would have been surprised. It was two poor teams, I thought, last night. Shelbourne, do you watch League of Ireland? I absolutely do. We've watched Shelbourne and Linfield already this season. We will be watching the repeat coming up. So, yeah, looking forward to Shelbourne and Linfield for sure. Knick-knack. If it involves a pig bladder being kicked around the field, Kee is there. Rangers got played off the park by Panathinaikos, didn't they? They did get played off the park by Panathinaikos, I think, in the away leg, but somehow managed to do enough to get the result. And yeah, ultimately over two legs they were better. But yeah, Panathinaikos, they weren't particularly good away, but they didn't need to be. They smashed them here at home. It was a great performance at home. Always a good place to go, Ibrox. Difficult place to go, I meant. But yeah, Shelbourne, in terms of do I watch League of Ireland, I don't watch an awful lot of the actual League of Ireland, but I've watched an awful lot of League of Ireland teams over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, yeah. Chris, thank you for the follow. Cheers for that, Crispy Cock. Here we go. Raskin, just doing his warm-ups beforehand. Will Malfay, hello, the Club Bruges fan is here. How's it going, Wim? Knick-knack hardly inspires confidence, though. Oh, listen, don't get me wrong. Bruges are the favourites here. Bruges are the overwhelming favourites to win, to go... Or maybe not to win tonight. I think Ibrox, it would be difficult, but they'll be overwhelming favourites to stay up. That's why I'm saying stay up. Qualify. Not just qualify. Stay up. What are you talking about, Key? Yeah, to qualify, Club Bruges are the absolute favourites to qualify. Claydon, who are you watching today? Yeah, we're watching Rangers against Club Bruges at Ibrox. It's in the Champions League qualifier. It kicks off in about 15 minutes. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. Harry, thoughts on Everton to stay up? I think whether Everton stay up is very much dependent on the next couple of weeks. Because I think if they finish this window with the squad that they have now, I might have to change my prediction from West Ham to go down to maybe Everton might... They'll be up there. Or they'll be down there, rather. Yeah, the predictions from a lot of Everton... they did that thing on Sky Sports last night. You know, the fanalysis. Did you see that? Fanalysis, where they talked about who's going to... You know, what all the fans think where their teams are actually going to finish. And apparently, Everton fans think that they're going to finish in 9th. Now, how the fanalysis works, I don't know. But Sky Sports did a gauging of the fan opinion. And they said that it's 9th. That's where Everton are going to stay. Or that's where Everton are going to finish, according to their own fans. I think that is massively, massively optimistic. And Gary Neville said as much as well last night. 9th, there is no way they finish top half. Unless they bring in 3 or 4 first-team players, they aren't anywhere close to the top half. I genuinely think they might be down there, you know. Yeah. Wim Malfay, Alexander Stankovic is the son of icon legend Inter Milan Stankovic. All right, okay. We are the people, no pressure on Rangers tonight. This is a free hit. Rangers guaranteed Europa League football. Nah, come on, mate. You can't approach it like that. A free hit. Celtic have got Kairat Almaty in the other tie tomorrow night. We'll be watching Celtic tomorrow night. There's absolutely no way that Rangers can not go into the Champions League and Celtic are. It's a tough draw, don't get me wrong. You've got Club Brugge, they've got Kairat Almaty. I get it. But Rangers have got to be going in the Champions League. Got to. Especially if Celtic are. Harry, 19th. Yeah, I don't necessarily think 19th. I think Everton will get embroiled in a battle. Let's say that. They are bad enough to get embroiled in a battle, but they aren't... I'm not sure they're quite definitely going down. Saying that, the only team that I can definitely say are going down is Burnley. That's it. It's only Burnley I can say for sure are going down. Leeds, I think, probably will. And then after that, it's probably anyone from 4. West Ham, Everton. Regrettably, I think Wolves and maybe Brentford. I don't think Brentford will, but I think it's West Ham, Everton. Sorry, Sunderland as well. I have to include Sunderland in that, of course I do. So yeah, Sunderland, Everton, Wolves, West Ham, possibly Brentford. But no, I think Everton will get pulled into it. As it stands, obviously. If things change, we don't know. Score predictions for tonight, Pedro Lover. I think it is 2-1. 2-1 to Bruges. 2-2 maybe, again. It might be 2-2. 2-2 in the pre-season game here. We watched that. We did the pre-season watch-along. So, yeah. I thought Rangers played well in that. I don't know. It's difficult, innit? The bookies have got Rangers overwhelming favourites to go out at this stage. And they very rarely get much wrong in that sense anyway. So, yeah, it's gonna be difficult. I do fancy Rangers will make it difficult tonight. They might get a draw to take back to Belgium for the second leg. But ultimately, I think Bruges might just be a tad too strong for them. Got to remember, by the way, Bruges were in the Champions League knockouts themselves last year. They ended up getting to you know, they played Villa, wasn't it? They got knocked out, or yeah, it was Villa Park they went to, and they got knocked out. So yeah, tough couple of performances that. Knick-knack, there might be no pressure on Rangers, but there is definitely pressure on Martin. Oh, absolutely. Stephen McNally, hey Scouse, we'll have a crack tonight. Scouse, don't dare say they'll go in because Celtic are not. We're not shite. A difference there, lad. You sure you're not a Hun? I am not a Hun. No, I'm not a Hun. I promise you I'm not a Hun. We are the people. Imagine if Rangers make it and Celtic don't. Rangers get 60 million quid. Hey, there's every chance. There's every chance. Stephen McNally, 3-1 Bruges. Rangers are pissed. I'll stop giving them false hopes. Knick-knack, I'm surprised that Rangers are such long shots. Yeah, I thought that as well. I thought that as well just before I backed Club Bruges to go through. I'm only kidding. I didn't really. But I do think it's going to be a very, very tough one, this, for Rangers. A tough tie. We are the people, full of that, Rangers fans, if and maybe and maybe. Right, Silver Fox, I think Brentford could have got a better manager. That's true enough. But that's the way that Brentford work, isn't it? They've brought a guy in who knows the club and is kind of going to follow the same model as Thomas Frank. It'll just be, if Keith Andrews doesn't work, they'll just have another one off the conveyor belt. I think it's actually quite nice that a Premier League club is appointing, quite bold, they're appointing a manager who's not got any experience in management. It's good. Yeah, do more of that. Especially if you really have conviction that person can lead you and do it and take it forward. I mean, look, he's going to be on a short leash, isn't he? He's going to end up getting binned off if they don't do it, but Fatboy007, Moyes and his assistants just are not good enough. Charlie Adams, set piece coach, I've seen nothing. Listen, Charlie Adams hasn't taken a good set piece since Blackpool. He signed for us, and it was shocking. He was absolutely shocking. Clips HQ, what game are you watching, Keith? We are watching Rangers against Club Bruges in the Champions League qualifying. So, yeah, it's at Ibrox. Fancy Rangers to get something tonight. To take it back to that second leg. You can watch it on Amazon Prime, mate, yeah, as well. So, hang on a minute. Fatboy007, would you change already? Would you make a change now? Based on what you saw last night, are you more frustrated with Moyes and his assistants? Or is it the recruitment? Is it the club? Are you frustrated with that approach? What is it that's kind of getting your goat, I guess? Are you really annoyed with Moyes and his assistants, that he's not been able to get better out of what they've got? Or do you think actually the club owe him a bit better? Where do you stand on that one? CFC James, are you doing the FPL? I am doing the FPL, yeah. You can join our Premier League Dad FPL League as well. If you want to join it, you can go and join on YouTube, Premier League Dad. Search it up. We're live right now on YouTube on the camera over here. And you can enter the league if you want to join. No pressure. We're going to be giving retro shirts away as prizes throughout the season. So, again, it's totally free to join. Go and check it out if you want to. You can. How many points are you on? I don't know. Last time I looked, I think it was before Sunday's games, and I was close to the bottom. I had a pretty rubbish start, to be honest. I can't remember how many points I was on, though. But I'll have a look. I will have a look. Harvey, good to see you, mate. Gooner for life, Harvey. How do you think you lads played on Sunday at Old Trafford? Clips HQ, what did you think of United on Sunday? Sorry, yeah. What do I think of United on Sunday? I thought United were good. Yeah, I thought United were good in parts, but I'm really disappointed with Ruben Amorim. I think Ruben Amorim was the reason that United lost that game. Yeah. And I think he's under massive pressure. But struggling, yeah, for United. If they don't kick on this season and get top four, I think he has to go, doesn't he? Absolutely has to go. Harvey, I mean, we played really bad, but somehow still won. Can't complain. That first game of the season at Old Trafford, you've got one really, really tough game out the way. And, yeah, good. Welcome to Memeland. Hi, what game are you watching today, Keith? I am watching Rangers against Club Bruges. Rangers, Club Bruges. Steve McNair, do you think Fenerbahce's making it through? No, I've backed Benfica in that one. Steve McNair, I'm taking the under in the Real Madrid game. It's not a bad shout. Nick Nack, Moyes is the most negative manager in the league. He is. He's replaced Pulis, hasn't he? Nick Nack, what were we saying? Sorry. Ostermorg, Key, 8 points on stack. What a differential pick. Was he really? 8 points. That's some going, isn't it? That is some going. Young B58, MU could end top 4 if they had a good goalie. I think they need more than a good goalie. They need a good goalie, and they probably need a midfielder or two. Yeah, the midfield looks completely shot, and the goalkeeper, yeah, is obviously a massive issue, of course is. Harvey, I reckon we'll beat Leeds 3-0 by 3-0 on Saturday. What's your predictions for that game? I think if you don't stick 3 or 4 past Leeds, no offence to Leeds, but if you don't stick 3 or 4 past Leeds on Saturday, then yeah, that's a real concern for Arsenal. What team do you support? I am a Liverpool fan, mate. A Liverpool fan, but we watch everyone on this channel. We watch absolutely everyone. Young B58, Casemiro needs to leave, sadly. He's getting old. I mean, Casemiro's bad. But, you know, you've got Mainu, though. Mainu there, he's not playing. Fernandes isn't a number 6. Can't play him there, really. Agate, that is one of the most shocking cameos I have ever seen coming onto a football pitch. He was absolutely shocking. Right, we are 5 minutes away from kickoff here. Should we get the lineups up on the screen? Just so people can... If you're not familiar with the lineups, Rangers and Bruges, I'll put them up on the screen and you can have a little look, see what you're thinking. Oh, Luton had already beaten Wigan 1-0. Tranmere losing at home against Burton at Prenton Park. That's another one I was surprised. I expected Tranmere to go through there. Maybe they still will. Right. Let me get the lineups up here for this one. I'll put them up on the screen on YouTube and you can have a little goosey gander. There you go. There's the lineups for this one. Butland in goal, Magoma, Giga, Sutar and Aarons at the back. Raskin, Rothwell and Diamande in midfield, and Gassama, Danilo and Antman. Gassama and Antman, I'm really looking forward to seeing those tonight. They were absolutely terrific against Panathinaikos. 2 very, very good purchases, it has to be said. For Bruges, you got Mignolet in goal, ex-Liverpool, Sabe and Says, the fullbacks. Sabe's another one, lots and lots of watching, keeping their eye on Sabe. Spilliers and Mekela, the experienced centre-backs. Onyedika and Stankovic in midfield with Forbes and Solis on the left. Solis, another player who's been linked with a move back to England. Very, very talented left-sided winger. And then it's Van Aken and Vermant up front. Nick Nack says, looks like a championship lineup. That's harsh, Nick Nack. That's very, very harsh. Very, very harsh. Nick Nack, why do we spend the whole build-up talking about United? I don't know, to be honest. I tend to not have an agenda before a game. So if people come in the chat and say, what do you think of Oldham? What do you think of whatever? I don't mind. I'll talk about whatever. We can have a chat about anything. I'm not bothered. But yeah, if people want to talk about United, I'll chat about United until the game kicks off and then we can talk about Rangers. But I don't mind. We can chat about whatever. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Within reason, obviously. Ostermorg, since when was Forbes at Bruges? He was loaned out to Wolves last year, wasn't he? I thought Wolves signed him, didn't they? Did Wolves sign him? It was Ajax. He's kind of bounced around a bit, Forbes, hasn't he? Came out the City Academy, didn't he? Harvey, I mean, if you're a real footy fan, you've got to watch everybody, surely, but only support your own team. Oh, I do, yeah, I only support Liverpool, but I have a soft spot for a lot of teams, having done, you know, doing this job now. I do, I enjoy it, I love it. You get to have a bit of an affinity with a lot of teams that you didn't really have before. Alex Macklin, how are things, bro? Very, very good, mate. How are things with you? Good to see you. Alex Macklin, no Isaac at the awards. Yep, I spotted that. Holes AVFC, is that Valencia's orange kit in the corner? It is, yes. That's the old Gaisca Mendieta kits. Lots of good kits. Valencia around that time. The Rafa Benitez era. Pablo Aimar, Ruben Baraja, Mister. Who else was at the back? Roberto Ayala. What a centre-back he was. Luton 1-0 up. Young B58. Isaac would be crazy in Liverpool. And he will. He will. He's definitely a Liverpool player. James, Sunderland are going to win the Prem. Bosh. Bosh. Sunderland going to win the Prem. No chance. But I do like Sunderland. I think they will stay up. Ryan, Burley watched Rangers this season. How do you think they'll do today? Not sure their level now. The two up front are definitely worth keeping their eye on. Or the two wingers up front. Antman and Gassama, who they've brought in. Gassama coming in from Wednesday. Antman coming in from, I think it was Go Ahead Eagles in the Eredivisie. Did very, very well. So, I do think you've got to keep an eye on those two. They were fantastic in pre-season for Rangers. They were fantastic in the last round for Rangers against Panathinaikos. And I think they'll cause Club Bruges 1 or 2 problems tonight. Yeah, 1 or 2 problems for sure. Temps, do you not have a job? I don't, mate. No, this is my job. This is my job. I quit my job. I had a job for a long time. Well, I've never been out of work. Never been out of work for 20 odd years. Quit to do this. Would you believe it? Quit to do this. What a moron, eh? Quit to watch footy for a living. Nick Nack, is anyone making predictions tonight? I said 2-2, didn't I? I've gone for the same scoreline as it was in pre-season. Jake, yeah, still no Toon top. Well, listen, Toon, I'll get an Isaac 9 Newcastle top behind me when he signs for the lads. M15-7, who's on, mate? It's Rangers against Club Bruges, and we're about to kick off here at Ibrox. Let's get it. Let's get the scoreboard underway. We are about to kick off. There you go. Bruges get us underway. Live on Amazon Prime if you're watching along. Gary, this can't pay the bills. You'd be wrong, mate. I promise you'd be wrong. Yeah, I mean, look, it ain't gonna take me to any of the wonderful places that it took me when I was working in sales and running my own business. It ain't gonna take me to the Maldives and New York and Vegas and all that again. But yeah, hey, it's not a bad little living. Depends on what you value in life, I guess. Depends on where you want to be. Stockport 1, Bradford City 0. Alex Ekatiki to score the winner against bitter Newcastle. We shall see. We shall see. D28, best get my Key Sports channel on to watch the game. We are the people. 3-0 penalty to Rangers, you're thinking. Jake Gordon to score the winner against the soft, entitled Liverpool. That's really, really bad. Rangers coming in down the left-hand side. Good ball in. Cleared away by Bruges already. IRD Jameson. Russell Martin getting the sack by the end of September. Really? What if he gets you in the Champions League? I'd be surprised if he got sacked. Swifty, I just can't watch Scottish football, Key. Well, it's not Scottish football per se. It's Champions League, mate. Why can't you watch it? It's good fun. Good team, Rangers and Bruges. Bruges were playing Villa in the Champions League knockouts last season. They're not, they're no mugs. Rangers knocked these out. They deserve to be in the league phase. And, you might get a bit of a giant kill in here. Rangers are certainly the underdogs going into this one. It's going to be a tricky tie, I think. M15-7, have you ever thought about trying Twitch? I have. Oh, Bruges are in. Oh, what a goal. That is an absolute shocking start for Rangers. Oh, no. That is an absolutely calamitous start, and it is Vermont. It's the number 20. It's the 21-year-old, the young lad that we talked about, coming in out of the Club Bruge Academy. He's had a really, really fast start here. And, Rangers, the camera's just panned straight to Russell Martin. This is a really, really bad start. It's a lovely, lovely finish. I think there's a mistake at the back from, I don't know if it's just a miscommunication, but let's watch this back. It's a long ball forward. It's a nothing ball. It's just a straight miscommunication between Giga and Butland. It's so poor, that. So poor. Giga's waiting on Butland to come out, and he leaves it for his keeper. Butland's stranded. Butland stood at the edge of his area. And it's just, oh my God, it's so bad. I can't tell you how bad this is. It's a nothing ball. It's in between the goalie and the centre-back. The centre-back thinks the goalie's going to get it. The goalie thinks the centre-back's going to get it. They both leave it. And Verman just runs in from in behind. Butland stood on the edge of his area and he just lobs him. It's a beautiful finish. Rangers 0, Bruges 1. Oh, what a terrible start to this game for Rangers. Absolute nightmare start. A classic Russell Martin defensive calamity, says Nick Knack. Mini Moon, nightmare for Rangers. Certainly a nightmare start, yeah. We are the people, 0-1 already, you're back. An absolutely outstanding goal. LRD Jameson, I'm not a Rangers fan, mate, but he wasn't fancied in the first place. That's true enough, yeah. AM10, have you seen Arsenal are extending Trossard's contract but giving him a higher salary? Ooh, that's interesting. Why do we think that is? Timmy Bing, imagine if Rangers qualify and Celtic don't, did you say? We are the people. I didn't say that. I didn't. But we did. So someone talked about that in the chat. But yes, it may well be. I didn't come up with that concept. Someone said it in the chat. I just read it out. But you can't say that Rangers. I was replying to a Rangers fan who was saying that, you know, this is a free hit. It's absolutely not a free hit. Come on, you've got to treat it as a big game. Big opportunity. Swifty been flicking between some live hard house and crap debates. Ian Tunstall, what the hell, man? 1-0 down already, crying. FM No Casuals laughing, howling his head off. I'm absolutely gutted. Martin's got no clue how to set up a defence. He's awful. Gary, who pays you then? You'd be surprised, mate. So you'd be very, very surprised. I could talk you through it, but probably not the time and the place right here and now. Be yourself, Dylan. Minute silence at Real Madrid for the Spanish wildfires. Yes, yeah, there's been a couple who've passed away, haven't they? It's really, really sad. Very surprising as well. But yeah, they've having real problems in Spain and Portugal with wildfires at the minute. Tone, wow, utterly embarrassing defending. It was poor. Was definitely poor. And Bruges, you've got a corner here now. This could well be an even worse start for Rangers if they concede again. Steve McNair, Rangers double chance. No, I don't think so. Chance for Bruges. It's 2. I told you. It's 2. There was another one coming and they've done it again. It's 2 off the corner. Oh, I told you no. I told you no. Definitely not. It's 2-0. Rangers, it's just all falling apart here. Russell Martin and his assistant, they're absolutely lost. Those Rangers players. It's a horrific start to this one. 7 minutes in, you can see Russell Martin. He's on the touchline saying, "Come on, lads, we need to go again." But it's a really, really bad start. Christ, is Rangers. What's he doing? Cameras pan to a Rangers fan in the crowd, and he's giving it this. You're not on Get Your Own back, mate. Noel's house party. What are you doing? Please, no more. I can't take this, says FM No Casuals. Totally switched off. I have to think that Butland should do better there. It's a corner. It comes out to about the penalty area. It's a lovely little cushioned. Does it take a deflection? I think it might take a deflection. It's a pretty poor one. Pretty poor one, to be honest, for the goalkeeper to concede that one. Spillier's the centre-back, is the one who scores it. But it does take a slight deflection. And 7 minutes in, Rangers 0, Club Brugge 2. I told you, this one's going to be a really difficult watch for Rangers if they don't sort themselves out. And they're on again here, Club Brugge. This could be 3. They're in the box. Bruges. Oh, over the bar. Very nearly 3 inside 8 minutes. They need to do something here, Rangers. They need to wake up. This is a horrific start. 2 down, maybe even 3 if they weren't careful there. Forbes, that just hits him. It hits him on the arse and goes over the bar. That could have gone anywhere. Fat Boy Martin could be gone within a month. I think a month might be ambitious based on this. Stephen Gray and Paddy Power paying out the league was a cracker. Nick Knack says, looks like the bookies were right all along. Bruges are coming forward again. They want to kill this tie off in the first 10 minutes. Not the first leg, in the first 10 minutes. They could be 3 up. If not for a little bit of rather fortunate defending. Rangers need to wake up here. M15-7, is Madrid playing now? Yes, yeah, Madrid are playing now. I'll keep you updated on all the other ones going on tonight, by the way. Pafos are 1-0 up away at Red Star in Serbia. Ferencvaros and Karabag are 0-0. AFC Wimbledon and Cardiff still 0-0. Huddersfield Doncaster 0-0. Luton 1-0 up against Wigan. Lincoln 1-0 up away at Northampton. Stockport 1-0 up at home to Bradford City, excuse me. Bromley winning away at Cheltenham. I knew that one would happen. I was so close to backing Bromley there. Colchester 1-0 up at Cambridge, at home. Crewe 2-0 up away at Fleetwood. That's a good start for Crewe. And yeah, Burton winning at Prenton Park, beating Tranmere in the EFL Cup. Spain and Osasuna, in Spain, Real Madrid 0, Osasuna 0, by the way, is the other one that I didn't tell you about. But goodness me, I can't really believe what we've witnessed here in these opening 10 minutes. Fans will want blood, says Fatboy 007. They're going to certainly be asking serious... And to be honest, they were asking serious questions of Russell Martin almost immediately on his appointment, it felt like. It felt like there was a lot of eyebrows raised immediately as soon as he was appointed. And then, you know, there's just been a mixed bag of results, let's call it. Going back to the game against Motherwell as well, we watched that as well, didn't we, in the SPL? The late sort of throwing the game away against Motherwell. Yeah, bad. But how long does he get? That's the question. Tank the player says, yes, come on, Bruges. Jam said this lot struggled against Alloa. The scrum down live. This just shows how bad the Scottish League is. Oh, behave yourself, James. This is not a reflection of the SPL. Hibs and Dundee United have given very, very good accounts of the SPL recently. In games they weren't necessarily expected to, and Aberdeen, I'm sure, will give a good account of the SPL against Steaua Bucharest, who themselves are looking a little bit all over the place in the Romanian league. So I think Aberdeen and Steaua will be one to watch later this week. But yeah, listen, Rangers, this is no reflection on the SPL or Scottish football. We'll see Celtic tomorrow night against Kairat Almaty. I know that's kind of a different kettle of fish altogether, but Everyone expects Celtic to win that one quite easily and to reach the league phase. And it's just the luck of the draw, ultimately. Rangers got a really, really tough one here against Bruges. Knick-knack, it's a reflection of Russell Martin's tactical ineptitude. Again, that's probably a fair shout. I think Russell Martin's got this one completely wrong tactically. However, I would say it's almost certainly that first goal. Goals change games, and one really big error that they can't really account for. I have a feeling, I do feel really sorry for Russell Martin, because if that goal doesn't go in, it probably isn't 2-0. I know that's a proper Michael Owen statement, so hear me out. If the first goal doesn't go in, the second doesn't go in, so it's obviously not going to be 2-0. I get it. Hear me out, though. I don't feel like Rangers would completely fall apart if that stupid goal doesn't happen at the start. That one just broke them. The miscommunication between Giga and Butland has totally changed the outlook of this game. It might well change the outlook of Russell Martin's Rangers tenure. For me, that's the thing that's changed it. Sean Feeney, no reflection, and I'm a Celtic fan. Love this guy, some lads you are. Hope you're all good, mate. Cheers, Sean. Good to see you. Nice to have you on the channel, mate. Stephen McAnally, what you doing here then, clown? Bye-bye. Not very receptive to Celtic fans on this chat. LFC fan, any idea how I'll be able to watch the Aberdeen game? I have no idea yet, mate, until Thursday. Knick-knack, he'll get a nice payoff. No need to feel sorry for him. We are the people. Celtic fans on a Rangers podcast. Typical obsessed Terriers. That's not me saying that, by the way. I haven't an issue with Rangers or Celtic. I like you both. It's not my battle. It's not my fight. And somehow Solis has actually got the assist for both of those. I know he took the corner, but I didn't think he would for the first one. CFC James says Rangers look awful. Absolutely, yeah, it's not been a good start for Rangers at all. Thank you for the likes, really appreciate it. Give us a like, tap on the screen if you can. Share it's all really good, really appreciated. If you're new around here and you're watching along, my name's Kee. I do live watch-alongs every single day from leagues all around the world. We're watching Celtic tomorrow night, see how they get on against Kairat Almaty. We'll be watching possibly Aberdeen on Thursday, but certainly we're going to be watching Palace against Fredrikstad on Thursday as well. That's live on Channel 5, that one. So we'll be doing live footy from, and we'll probably do the second leg of this one as well. So all sorts of live footy from around the world. It's not just the Premier League. We do a bit of everything. So yeah, give us a like and a subscribe if you will. Massively, massively appreciated. Craig, genuinely surprised to see empty seats as well. Fair enough for the cup game, but this is the Champions League. I wonder if that's a reflection of whether or not the fans think that they're going to go through. And maybe that's just a sign of that. I don't know. Yeah, that is odd, isn't it? Why would it be so... I can't imagine Rangers fans being that negative about it. The slabbering cabbage is back. How's it going, champs? Good to see you, mate. Key, shocking start. CFC James, do you find it hard to watch games with no commentary on one football? No, not really. To be honest, I mean, most of the commentators that you get nowadays, it's all a bit naff anyway. Do you not think? they're one of two things. It feels like the commentators, they're either massively, well, one of three things. They're either massively like misinformed, or like you get people like Michael Owen giving, banal vox pops, like just really like obvious stuff that we can all see, or getting things wrong, or you get people who are so obviously biased but don't want to actually show that they're biased. Like if I'm watching a Liverpool game and we're doing a watch along of a Liverpool game, I want Liverpool to win. I'm not hiding it. I absolutely, I'm calling for everything. Anything that's even slightly 50-50, I'm shouting for it. Even though I know it has no impact on the game. But everything else, I can be pretty much authentic because I'm not bound by the same, maybe, media standards as Sky Sports and BBC and all that sort of thing. So you can say, if someone's shite, they're playing shite. You can say whatever you want. Pup, that's why I'm listening to you. That's very kind, Pup. That's good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And by the way, listen, this was actually this game, Rangers and Bruges, is the most watched game on this channel. The pre-season game, the 2-2. So I had high hopes coming into this one tonight. I was praying that we might get some big numbers coming in. Bruges in down the right hand side. Here's Forbes. Cleared away. Oh, it's 3. It's 3. It was only cleared away as far. Oh my goodness me. It's 3. They've stuck it in. That's a fabulous finish as well. Oh, good grief. Jack Butland's not having the night. He's not having a night. It's Brandon Mekela, the centre back. That's both centre backs have scored here for Bruges. You've got Rangers fans turning round and going like this to the rest of the crowd at Ibrox. You've got other Rangers fans who look just in a state of absolute disbelief. And you've just got a lad there. I mean, I'm no expert in lip reading, but I'm pretty sure he just told them to wake the F up. So we've got a set of home fans who really are not happy going into this one. But that's some finish. And again, I have a massive degree of sympathy for Russel Martin here, because that one, I think you could put two keepers in goal. They're not saving that one. 25 yards out, there or thereabouts. Half volley, drilled right into the side netting. Could never expect Butland to save that. Some finish. And the first one, you can't legislate for players doing that. The mistake, the deflection, and then an absolute screamer. Am I wrong for being a little bit sympathetic to Russel Martin here? I feel like he's getting the raw end of it here, definitely. But what a bad start. Christ. Come on, Rangers, wake up. Just need to make more of the game of this, otherwise it's done. The game the time might genuinely be over inside 20 minutes. I bet they didn't think that was going to be the case coming into Ibrox tonight. Shot from distance, quite comfortably wide, that one from Diamande. Fans booing and leaving, says Stephen McAnally. Slabbering cabbage, I'm off for a celebrated bottle of tonic back in 5 minutes. We are the people. Time to go and dance on a Fenian's head wearing golf shoes. Now. Gorbel says, what an assist from Rothwell there. Key, Russel Martin is a poor coach. Well, I know, but do you not think tonight, I feel like if your centre-back and your goalkeeper does that in the opening 10 minutes, you can't prepare for that. You can't plan for that. And then heads drop and there's a little bit of a deflection on the corner and you can see the second. And then this guy, centre-back, drills one in from 25 yards out. Russel Martin's just looking and going, how can I possibly legislate for that? How can we plan for that as a team? Pup, honest question. How good are you at Football Manager? And is your CV up to date? I'm not that good. I tend to cheat at Footy Manager. So I'd only be good as City Manager. Wink, nudge, nudge. Steve McNair, wow, fans leaving already. 20 minutes in, fans. pouring out of Ibrox. WWE fan of Star Wars, West Ham and Sunderland were dreadful. Sunderland were terrific. I don't know what you're talking about there. Sunderland were brilliant. 3-star Reds hope the Rangers fans recorded the Champions League anthems on their phones. They won't be hearing it again at Ibrox this season. Well, listen, they're in the Europa League no matter what, so they are still in Europe, if nothing else, I guess. Sean Feeney, obsessed they call. Who wouldn't tune in to watch this clown show that is Rangers? Well, listen, there's still well over an hour of football to go. This could get worse. And, you know, I think if you're Russell Martin, you just want to try and get to half-time here. Bruges are in. Oh, my goodness me, nearly 4. I'm not kidding. It wouldn't be. I don't mean to laugh and make light of it because, you know, if I'm a Liverpool fan and I'm watching this and it's Liverpool, I'm fuming. But I'm not underplaying it when I say that if this was 5-0 now, it wouldn't even, that wouldn't be like, it wouldn't flatter Bruges. 5-0 would probably be an accurate scoreline based on what we've seen in the opening 20 minutes. It's been horrific. Tim James says there is no drop down, is there? Yes, there is, I believe. Yeah, I believe they're already guaranteed Europa League football. Thursday nights are Rangers nights. Is that still the theme tune, that? Thursday nights. Joe, have you been appointed our new sporting director? Looks like we actually are getting Larsson. Are they actually? Jorgen Strand Larsson for Newcastle. That'd be good. That means Isak's coming. Hey! Timmy Bing, Barry Ferguson wouldn't have stood for this. I think there's got to be a change. It already feels like to me, if the writing's on the wall. Once the fans have kind of detached from a manager, it's only a matter of time. It's a case of when rather than if. It's the same thing we're seeing with Graham Potter at West Ham. The fans aren't up for it. They don't like him. There's no connection there. When you've actually got a connection between fans and manager, it feels like they can tolerate an awful lot. But when it's not there, and it's not there from the get-go, yeah, don't take much. On a Permo, it makes you think what Russell Martin's training is like. Do we think this is this an issue with training? Maybe you could say communication between the centre-back and the goalkeeper. Baboon Man, they will lose to Buddies on Saturday and Martin will be punted. Free kick for Rangers. Oh, unlucky. Just wide that from Rothwell. Wasn't a bad effort, that. Oh, hit the post. Hit the post. I don't know what Mignolet went like that then. Like, no problem, calm. Mate, you would never get into that. No chance. Unlucky. Timmy Bing, Rothwell looks like a proper baller. That was unlucky. That was really unlucky. CFC James says Russell Martin's going to get the sack. Milan Skriniar, thoughts on 95kg Gyökeres? 95kg Gyökeres, is that how much he weighs? I wouldn't know. Joe, I can't see Isak going this window, sadly. Still think there's time. Tone, he keeps on saying they're training like beasts. Oh, right, okay, well, I've missed that. But they don't look unfit. They don't look unfit. Whatever he's doing with them in training, I don't think it's a fitness issue here. I don't think it's necessarily a system issue. I think what we've witnessed here in the opening 20 minutes is one individual error that has immediately made heads drop, and the game plan has gone out the window. Completely and utterly gone out the window. On a Permo, Souttar didn't look interested in what Martin has to say. Sir Space Rat, and we thought 2012 was the worst it could get. Well, listen, Rangers are starting to pick up a bit more of the ball here. Here's Gassama. Great play, gets past the fullback, pulls it back. And again, he is the only light in this Rangers team, Gassama. Absolutely sensational from him down the left-hand side. Skinned the fullback. Really unlucky that. That is all you can ask from your winger. That is absolutely all you can ask from him. Gets past the fullback, good ball in, pulls it back into an area, nobody there. You can only keep doing that, Gassama. Very good play. Nick Knack says you're being far too kind, Kee. Bruges aren't even out of first gear yet, says Tone. Goodness me. Liam Mark says trusting the process. Joe, I think an agreement has been in place and I've got a sneaky feeling he's at goal straight after the Liverpool game. I agree, yeah. I think that is probably what's going to happen. Chance here for Rangers shots. Just, well, it's quite comfortably wide. I think it's gone for a goal kick, that. Is it? Corner. No, it is a corner. Diamande with the strike. Rothwell goes over to take it quickly. Takes the short one while Bruges aren't settled and the ref pulls it back. Andy D, 2-1-4. Well, that's our season done already. Oh, come on, mate. Don't say that. You've got Europa League still to look forward to. And that's not me patronising or head-patting in any way. You've got the Europa League, and Rangers have historically done very, very well in that competition. So, yeah, it's not the Champions League. It's not Champions League money. But it doesn't mean the end of the world for Rangers if indeed you do go out. Still a long way to go in this tie yet. Certainly 1 or 2 left. Ferencvaros have just won 1-0 up against Karabag. Fatboy 007, could Martin be gone tonight? 3-0 down, the fans won't accept this. And Liam says he needs to stay for his first derby game. That's a question. When is it they play? When is it they play the first derby game? When's the first Old Firm? '31st of August, 12 days. Ooh, yeah, no, he's not going anywhere before then. I can't imagine anyway. I'd be very, very... But then again, do you know what? If they were to get the floor absolutely wiped with them tonight, you do wonder whether the Rangers management might look at it and go, we can't afford Celtic to do something like this in this sort of a game because it would be so detrimental to the season. But would it be better off getting someone else in? But you can't find someone new in 12 days. Free kick comes in and cleared away quite comfortably there by Bruges. Bruges haven't really been troubled. It's not been the sort of performance that Russell Martin will be. Come on, Gassama. Good ball in, actually. Shot from distance. Good defending again by Bruges. Craig Foley, what's Gerrard up to? Gerrard, even if... I don't know if Rangers fans would want Steven Gerrard back. I don't really know what the view of Steven Gerrard is amongst Rangers fans. Here's Gassama. Shot just wide. May have took a corner. Deflection. No, it's gone out for a goal kick. Tim James, I would say these are better than Celtic. Oh, yeah, of course. No, I'm not saying they're not better than Celtic. But I'd still say that if Rangers are getting an absolute arse handed to them in a game like this, they might look at it and go, well, if Celtic were to really put a beating past us at Ibrox, that's the sort of result that lasts and it stays beyond a new manager, doesn't it? That can end careers at Rangers. If you were to get beat 3 or 4-0 at Ibrox off Celtic in the same way these guys could do tonight, it's one of those sort of historic performances. But yeah, in terms of Steven Gerrard, he ain't going nowhere because I think he's still sort of working his notice, I guess, in terms of the Saudi money, isn't he? He can't get a job in the UK for the next, is it 12 months or so? Otherwise he has to pay tax on all that lovely tax-free Saudi money. So yeah, he's not signing back in for Rangers, no chance. Pup, the I am happy right here, Gerrard, and then moves 2 days later. He was always looking to bet a deal. I actually think Gerrard would do that with anyone really, bar Liverpool. He'd have said that to... If there's a better deal on the table, he'll go elsewhere. He'll always drop you like a sack of spuds. Stephen McAnally, I don't know what we're talking about there. Torn. Celtic have won both league games and a cup game. Rangers won a cup game and they drew 2 league games. Gavi Matchit, any Rangers champions flags? Not here, mate, no. Slabbering cabbage, Rangers crumbling like a stamped on packet of custard creams. Very poetic. Very poetic. Celtic win the double, Rangers the Govan Cup. Oh my goodness me. It's a bad all night for Russell Martin. WATP, why would you move to the UK when it's nice and sunny all year round here in Dubai? You in Dubai? Lovely. Well, I don't know. Some people prefer the UK to Dubai. There's certain parts of Dubai that I'm told aren't very nice. I can't say I've ever been to Dubai. Everyone I've ever known go to Dubai. And that doesn't mean like everyone that goes to Dubai is this. But everyone I have ever known go to Dubai are absolute bellwhiffs. I don't know if it's like, is that just a correlate? Maybe it's not all bellwhiffs go to Dubai. Just that all the ones that I know. They are the sort of people who go to Dubai, in my experience, admittedly limited. I'm sure there's been some other lovely, very nice people who do. On a permo, Russell Martin has absolutely fooked it. So, criminals. Well, yeah, a little bit of that as well. Plenty of criminals head out that way as well. What's the score? The score is Rangers 0, Club Bruges 3. Craig Foley, it's too sunny in Dubai. Well, I've been to Abu Dhabi, and I remember the plane door opening. I nearly went to Abu Dhabi for a stopover. I will say that I didn't go for I wasn't in Abu Dhabi for a holiday, which negates what I was saying earlier about the types of people I've known go to Dubai. But yeah, when they opened the plane door in Abu Dhabi, it's like when the oven door hits you. It was absolutely shocking. Slabbering cabbage. Come on, Bruges. Destroy them. Joe, at least people in Dubai might actually show the game. Yeah. Absolute part-timers don't show the game. Square Sausage Mix says, to be honest, it should be 4-0. It should be 4-5. Yeah, Rangers haven't even had a chance. Haven't had a sniff. Knick-knack, Rangers have completed more passes though. That's the Russell Martin way. There's some very despondent faces in that Ibrox crowd there. Every time the camera pans to the crowd. Just shell-shocked. Just no idea what's going on. No idea what they're witnessing here. Newport 0, Salford 1. There's not been any other goals really anywhere else. Crawley 1, MK Dons 0, Port Vale 1, Stevenage 0. Peterborough 0, Barnsley 1. Yeah, not really anything else going on. Tranmere have equalised against Burton in the EFL Cup, by the way. Sir Space Rat, life could be a dream. Craig Foley, to be honest, that's the normal Glaswegian look. The normal Glaswegian look, what, shell-shocked and totally despondent. Knick-knack, still, if they can turn it round, can't see it happening, mind. Could they? Could they turn it round? Do we think? I don't think they turn it round tonight, put it that way. I think if there is going to be a turnaround, it's going to be in Belgium. It's going to have to be some sort of an effort. Shot from distance, what a save from Butland that time. And it needed saving. A really, really good shot from Carlos Forbes. Very, very nearly 4. It was... Oh, yeah. Again, I think Forbes has got to do better there because it really opened up for him. But Butland tips it wide for a corner. Good save. To be honest, he needed to pull off a good save. He's owed Rangers a good save after that first goal, for sure. Vermont has gone down. It's looking like there's going to have to be a sub here for Bruges. The first goal scorer is off. Clarkey, are you watching Shelbourne versus Linfield on Thursday, Key? Well, on Thursday, I'm definitely watching Palace. Palace against Fredrikstad. I don't know if there is any early games. No. So Palace v Fredrikstad is 8 o'clock. Shelbourne Linfield is 7:45. So no, I'm going to be watching Palace and Fredrikstad. Hibs and Legia Warsaw are also on at 8. But no, I'm going to be prioritising Palace on Thursday. There's lots of other good games on Thursday though, so we could maybe catch one of the early games. August the 21st. We could watch Midtjylland. Yeah, we could watch Midtjylland. Or we could watch Rosenborg. In fact, that's what I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch Rosenborg against Mainz in the Conference League playoffs. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff. So I'll be live for that. And then immediately upon finishing that, 5:45, 6 o'clock, 6:45, 7 o'clock, we'll go live for Palace and Fredrikstad. Sound good? There you go. So there you go. That's going to be our lives on Thursday. Knick-knack, it seems that Martin has learnt nothing from his previous jobs. His previous failings, sorry. My way or the highway. Square Sausage Mix says it could be double figures over the 2 legs. Corner kick comes in from Bruges. It's not back out to the corner taker and it's offside. Honor Permo says whatever Russell Martin is doing behind the scenes or lack of it, he needs to change because they fucked it. Shouldn't have given a debut to Magoma either. It wasn't Magoma that messed up though, was it? Wasn't it? It was Giga, wasn't it? I mean, in terms of the ratings, the who scored ratings for tonight's game, Giga is rated a 4.7 out of 10. Sutar 5.8, Magoma 5.9, Aaron's 5.3, Butland 5.2. Gassama, the best Rangers player, with a 6.8. Rothwell about to take the corner here. Mignolet with a big punch, gets it away, gets it up the pitch. Oh, no. Oh, that was so lucky. Bruges very nearly in there again. They're living very, very dangerously here, Rangers. Very dangerously. No way Rangers score 4 goals, says Tone. They might not have to score 4, but if they get 1 here, or even 2 here, you never know. They could finish 3-2. If they come out second half with a completely different approach, start, get the composure back and start to really build up a bit of momentum, crowd get behind them, you never know. If they get it back to 3-1 or 3-2 for the second leg, it's back on again. They could go to Belgium and win. Be difficult, but they could. You've got to have faith. If you're a Rangers fan, you've got to have faith that can happen. You can't be giving up on a game after 20 minutes of the first leg. 3-0 down. You've got to back your team. And there are some good players in that Rangers squad that can produce moments, if nothing else. Gassama, Antman. If they get Igamane on the pitch, I don't know why. For me, I don't understand why he's on the bench. If they're adamant that he's leaving, don't put him on the bench. If he can play and he would play, then pick him. Because he's going to score more than Danilo. Knick-knack, the word if is doing a lot of heavy lifting there. As it always does. If, buts and maybes on this channel. Craig Foley. I hadn't even realised Antman was playing. Yeah. He's not been great. Oh, he's been a bit anonymous, really. It's all been Gassama down this right-hand side for Rangers. That's a corner. And it is. See, Gassama's like, come on, let's get up. He's giving it, he's giving it the big one to the crowd. Turner goals against will only increase. Same as the league, losing goals very, very cheaply. I'd agree with that. I think whatever Russell Martin is doing defensively, as a manager, he's never quite got it right. Southampton conceded lots and lots of cheap goals. We've seen it start at Rangers here. So yeah, maybe it is a tap. Maybe I'm underplaying it. Oh, that might be on ball. That might be on ball. I tell you what, that could be a red card. That could be a red card. The referee hasn't give it, but this might be a check here. Diamande comes across, and if he handballs this is a red card for absolute certainty. Oh, hey, this one's getting past him. That might be a red for Diamande here. Forbes knocks it past him. Oh, I tell you what, he might be a lucky boy here, Diamande. He might be a lucky boy. They're definitely going to take a look at this. This is definitely a VAR check. And I tell you something, this might get worse for Rangers. It's last man. He's clean through Forbes. He knocks it past Diamande. It does take a slight bobble up, but then Diamande, it's a little bit like the Liverpool one. Liverpool against Bournemouth on Friday night. If you watched it, he does. There is a definite downward movement of the hand, and it knocks it away in the tackle. I don't know. He might be a lucky boy. It might have just bobbled up. Knick-knack, what happened? Basically, Bruge are running through. The referee's saying no. I think he's saying it bobbled up, so I don't think it is going to be a red. I think he's got away with it. But the Club Bruges manager speaking to the fourth official on the touchline, he's asking the question. Carlos Forbes, the right winger of Club Bruges, is running through on goal. Rangers are scattered. The defence is all over the place. It's a long distance, don't get me wrong, between where Forbes is. It's maybe 10, 15 yards into Rangers' half. And he's running through towards Butland. Nobody with him, really. Diamande's coming over from this side. And as Diamande comes over, he slides in. Forbes takes a touch, knocks it past him, and Diamande swipes it away. No VAR intervention. Lucky, lucky boy, says Empty. I have to agree with that one. I think that one is a tad fortunate. Well, let's say this way. If he does get a red card there, I don't think he could complain. It's maybe an amber red card. Let's call it an amber red card. If he doesn't give it, fine. I can understand why he's not giving it, because it does take a slight bobble up off his knee, and I don't know. Maybe that's the reason he's looked at it. It's not a red card. But if he had given it, I don't think the VAR overturns that one. Might have been different if it was 0-0. That's true enough, yeah. Maybe the referee managing the event, the occasion, managing the game rather than the actual incident and the decision. We do see a lot of that in refereeing, don't we? He's looked at it and gone, well, they're already 3-0 down. I don't necessarily need to make this decision because the chances are it isn't going to be... That's not going to be the reason that this game hinges on Club Bruges going out or going through. So I can not give it. Stephen McNally, Rangers never defeated, always cheated. Knick-knack, easier to not give a tough decision when you know the game is already won. That's true. Yeah, it's very true. Oh my God, Alexander Isak has released a statement. Yeah, let's see it. What's he said? Alexander Isak's statement here. Breaking news, literally in the last few minutes. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. I am proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Team of the Year for 24-25. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight with everything going on. It didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is, that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long, long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now and why change is in the best interest of everyone, not just for me. Yes! And I said it. I said exactly that. That is vindication, that, because I've been saying that for freaking weeks. That he'd had promises broken, and that shows exactly where it's up to. There you go. Be yourself, Dylan. They were going to introduce blue cards like Simbin, off for 5 minutes and then back on. Craig Foley's going for the promises broken route. Well, I mean, it is. That is exactly what's happened. Nick Nack, what promises were made, do we think? Well, the promises that are alleged to have been made, this has been coming out for quite some time. The promises that he was alleged to have been, made is that 18 months ago he was promised a big new contract. Rangers, he cleared away. It's going to be a free kick to Bruge. 18 months ago he was promised a big new contract. New sporting director comes in and says, oh yeah, you're not having that anymore. So he's gone. He's gone, the sporting director, but they've still not given him the new contract. They also promised Isak that they would invest in the squad to try and help them achieve Champions League and winning the Premier League and all that sort of thing. They haven't done that. So, allegedly, the 2 promises they made to Isak, they haven't delivered on. They haven't delivered on him. Nick Nack should have put a minimum release clause in his... minimum fee release clause in his contract. Well... I know, but again, contracts are still based on good faith. Russell Martin straight down the tunnel here at Ibrox. It's half-time. Club Bruges 3 up. What a difficult night it's been already for Rangers, and it could have been so much worse. It genuinely could have been 5-6-0 at half-time and Rangers down to 10 men. That wouldn't have been an exaggeration. It's absolutely unbelievable. Of course, a Liverpool fan agrees with Isak. It's not that I'm agreeing with Isak, it's that I said that weeks and weeks and weeks ago. That is what made most sense. It's not that I agree with him. It's that you could see that that's what's happened. Every single journalist, reputable journalist, has said what Isak has just said it weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Weeks ago. And Isak agreed to a 6-year contract at Newcastle when he signed too. Yeah, but again, contracts are all based on good faith, mate. No player signs a 6-year contract and goes, oh yeah, I'm going to be here for 6 years. That's not how contracts work in football. You don't sign Chelsea players aren't signing for 8 years expecting to be at Stamford Bridge for 8 years. There's always reason, good reason and all that sort of thing within contracts built into it. Good faith. Are you watching the Club Bruges game, Liam Gormley? I am, yes, absolutely. Rangers 0, Club Bruges 3. Bye-bye Rangers, says Stockroom Tim. Square Sausage Mixer, Gerard's a total prick. That's absolutely outrageous about Stevie G, Captain Fantastic. You can't be saying that sort of stuff, mate. My hero. Murty, Pedro, Warburton, Martin, what a list. King Boris is loving it. Tone line up at the bookies, even money. Jam, let me tell you that we love you. Oh, Honor Permo, welcome Wim. Yeah, Wim Malfay, our regular Club Bruges fan, he'll be delighted by this one. See, it's up to Newcastle whether they want him there for 6 years. Well, it's not though, is it? It's not. Because it's a two-way street, mate. A relationship in business like that is always a mutual thing, right? So, for example, look at the way that Manchester United are currently treating, Rasmus Højlund and Jadon Sancho and players that they don't want at the club anymore. When the shoe's on the other... Listen, if Newcastle decided they didn't want Alexander Isak and they said, you know what, actually, we don't want him. He doesn't fit our goals anymore. He's not good enough, right? We don't want him. If they was to put him in the reserves and make him train alone, isolate him, you're going to have to play reserve games, you have to turn up to, we're going to send you away to Newport County to play a reserve game on like a Thursday night with all the under-18s and under-20s, that you're going to go and play in them games because we're going to isolate you mentally, emotionally and try and force you out the club. That happens all the time at clubs all over the country. No one bats an eyelid at that. No one says a jot about that. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, no one says anything about that. But when the player does it in reverse and says, listen, I don't want to be here anymore. You know, he's told the club 12 months ago that he wants to leave. He's performed professionally all the way through the last 12 months, got you in the Champions League, won you the cup, and now he wants to leave. I think that's entirely reasonable. If you wanted to leave your job and you gave your gaffer 12 months notice, I think that's the right thing. Nick Nack, I doubt the Newcastle fans are going to think any different now. Not Newcastle fans will still treat him like he's unprofessional, he's done it all wrong and blah, 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 but yeah, mad. Square Sausage Make, if Sevco don't win a comedy award this year, I'll be shocked. Callum, biblical. It's been a bad night for Ibrox, for Rangers at Ibrox. Dale, what's the score? It was 3-0 last I checked. Yep, 3-0, still half-time here. Poppy's down the tunnel and the fans are off to the Loudon Tavern. Nick Nack, you only think it's reasonable because Liverpool are in for him. Slightly biased opinion. No, honestly, I think it's reasonable in any walk of life. To be honest, Liverpool have had a rule for the last 10 years under Jurgen Klopp that if a player comes to the manager and says, I want to leave, if you go to the manager and inform the manager, the club will get you a move. We don't want players at the club who don't want to be there. I think Newcastle trying to keep him there beyond when he wants to leave is really, really small time. Actually, it's really laughable. It's it's mad. Matthew Quinn, just because clubs do it doesn't make it any less rattier. Well, it does. Of course it is. It's a two-way street, Matthew. It's a two-way street. Sure it is. You've got to... just because Newcastle can do something, Isaac can do something, it's a relationship. I think what's good for one is good for another. Newcastle just want a reasonable fee for him, that's all. And they've been offered a reasonable fee. They've been offered a British record fee. The Slabbering Cabbage, this channel is good and fun. This lad seems a good guy. Cheers, the Slabbering Cabbage. Appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. Again, if you're new around here, my name's Kee. Give us a like, give us a follow. We watch all these games. We're watching Celtic tomorrow. Celtic Kairat Almaty. So, yeah, good stuff. Giannis Dimitropoulos, can I see the match here? What you're looking for, mate, is Amazon Prime. You seem to have mistaken me for Amazon. Has happened before. Honor Permo, what channel is everyone watching? I want to see McGregor's face. It is on Amazon Prime, mate. Nick Nack, they've been offered a derisory amount. Derisory? They've been offered a British record? What are you on about, derisory? People acting like Liverpool have offered him a tin of magic beans or something. We've offered him a British record for Isaac, and we'd go back in and offer more. We've just not gone 150 million there. Yeah, it's fine. It is a really comical first goal. You're absolutely right there, Nick Nack. It's a great finish, though. Let's be honest. Put aside how you feel about Rangers and Celtic and Bruge and whatever. That's a hell of a finish for a 21-year-old lad. You know, academy graduate coming through from Bruges, playing in the Champions League and Ibrox, a big opportunity. What a finish that is. The composure to do that. There's so many that would have ran through and carried it through and tried to take the keeper on. That's really, really good. Ian Cochran, good wee show, mate. The boos at Ibrox could be heard on the moon. Here's the second goal. Jonas Spiliers, the centre-back. I do think this one might have taken a deflection. I didn't watch it back. Did it take a deflection? I think it might have done. Corner from Solis. It gets played back to like the penalty spot. Spiliers starts outside the area. That's interesting. Bit of an Arsenal tactic. Starts outside the area, runs in, unmarked, completely unmarked. And I'll see that. Do you know what? That, from a set-piece point of view, you have to look at Russell Martin there. Because how are you not picking up the man on the edge of the box on a corner? All he does there is stroll into the box, strolls into the penalty area, totally unmarked, nobody around him, and it's a clean volley. It does take a deflection. It absolutely does take a deflection. But yeah, Butlin's positioning was sus for the second, certainly for the first. His positioning was sus for the first and the second. And it does take a deflection, but I think the marking, the zonal marking, the man marking, however you want to put it, on that second goal off the corner, that's really, really disappointing from Russell Martin's point of view. And that is something he could work on in training. You know, I can pick the bones out of the first and say, well, it's two players, they've miscommunicated. Maybe that's not Russell Martin's fault. It's disappointing. You can't plan for that. You can't legislate for two players making a mistake. But off the corner, disappointing. On a Permo, I had Premier Sports on. Didn't realise it was on there. Thank you. I want to watch the meltdown. Timmy Bing, 7 minutes, including simply the best before kickoff. Ronnie Dodge says, karma for Newcastle. Joe, Isak's statement, what a joke. Why is it a joke? Mate, isn't that just confirmation of what we've been saying? That he was promised things, and he's now coming out and saying, listen, I was promised things. The club have known for a really, really long time that I have wanted to leave. Like, surely that's exactly what we've been saying. We knew this. We've been saying it for ages. RB9K, worst team in Belgium. Hoggy, what do you think of Isak putting an announcement on his Instagram? I like it. Yeah, listen, he's got to come out and do it. And he's done it. Why doesn't Isak put a transfer request in? Well, listen, there's two things I would say about that. One, he might have already put a transfer request in and we just don't know about it. I'm sure Newcastle, particularly now, aren't under any certainties that... They're not under the illusion that he wants to stay, are they? They know he wants to leave. So a transfer request, it achieves a lot of things, but they know that he wants to leave. So, second thing, he might well still put a transfer request in. There is a possibility he does that, but I think he might be hoping that, look, I don't necessarily need to put a transfer request in for this to go through. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it matters an awful lot whether he puts a transfer request in or not. A formal transfer request is neither here nor there. It doesn't really change the situation. Joe, when Wisser does that, though, it'll be a bad thing. Well, Wisser is doing exactly what Isak's doing. Wisser's no different. And I've not said that Wisser is wrong, by the way. So, I think a relationship between a club and a player is a two-way street. As long as he's informed the club he wants to leave, what's the problem? Hoggy, apparently he hasn't put a transfer request in because of certain bonuses. Well, again, what's the problem with that? What's the issue with that? Why should he put it in? Why should he put it in? Maybe that's the last card that he could play. I'll if I have to put the transfer request in, but he could put the transfer request in, and Newcastle could still veto the move. So, yeah, it doesn't. Maybe that's the final trick up his sleeve is inputting the transfer request in if it's necessary. But he might not need it to. He might not need it to actually get the bid, get it moved. So, on a Permo says Gabby is absolutely slaughtering Rangers here. She is. SSM, what we saying? SSM, sorry. Seems like it's okay to go. Jan, we do have Joy. Alex joined the pain of Rangers at the minute. Joe, bid accepted tomorrow, I think. Hoggy, I think he'll do, just not before the game on Monday. I think he will go. Yeah, I agree. I think he goes, but it's probably after Monday. Nick Knack, it looks like will be a Liverpool player by the end of the window. Key, cheer up. I'm made up. Dimser, is there a deal on in Burger King? Where's everyone going? They're pouring out of Ibrox. Listen, there's still time. There is still time. I don't want to be too harsh on Rangers, because look, there's plenty of Celtic fans in the chat who are giving them enough grief as it is, but it's a bad night for Rangers. It's a very, very bad night. There's still time for them to turn it round. If they get one or two in the second half, you never know what could happen. Anthony, transfer request, he'll lose his 10%, 10 million quid. Right, so there you go. So it's a negotiation, isn't it? Why should he have to put that in? He might not need to put it in for him to get the move. He still might put it in, but he might not need to. Again, it's a negotiation between three parties, isn't it? Liverpool want the best deal for them. Newcastle want the best deal for them. And Isak wants the best deal for them. Unfortunately, in spite of what you might think, it isn't all on Newcastle's terms. It really isn't. Newcastle do want him to leave. They absolutely want him to leave. Anthony, would you lose 10 million? Absolutely not. Of course not. I wouldn't mind sacrificing a little bit if it got me my move to Liverpool, but I would want assurances from the club that, listen, if I give... Isak might be willing to. He might have already said to Newcastle, fine, keep the 10 million. I'm not bothered. Keep it. Let me go. And they might have said, well, no, we're not doing that. Well, fine, well, I won't put the transfer request in then. We don't know. We just don't know, do we? Slabber and Cabbage, Premier Dad, what's your name, mate? So we can talk to you. It's Kee. Kee, you can call me Kee. My name's Kieran, but you can call me Kee. Jam, whatever you do, Premier League Dad, don't let a Rangers fan mod. You'll lose 80% of your viewers due to ragging. Frankie, do you think Eze signs for Spurs? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. MT, I think Jashari did the same thing, but there was break-even agreements. We agreed he would stay one more year before the summer, and then Milan came and started pushing. And again, that's not a problem for me. I feel like if you say 12 months in advance, I would like to leave this club, can we agree something for next summer? I think the club should facilitate that, shouldn't they? The club should try to be respectful and go, okay, fine, listen, give us your everything this year. Give us absolutely everything you can, and next year we can figure it out. Fine. They should do that. They should do that, I think. So, for me, it is Newcastle being unreasonable. Knick-knack, you can't blame Newcastle for trying to get the most they can. You can't. You can't blame Newcastle for trying to get the most they can. You can't blame Liverpool for putting in an offer under, what Newcastle's... If Newcastle say, I want 150, Liverpool putting in 110, I don't think is derisory. It's a negotiation. And you can't blame Isak for saying, well, look, I want to go, but, I would like to save this 10 million quid bonus that I've got. Knick-knack, is it Key or Key? So most people... Slabber and Cabbage, cheers Kieran, beautiful name, your channel could explode in the next few weeks, mate. With a bit of luck. I've quit my job to do this, mate, so I need it to fucking explode. I've quit my job, I've got a 4-year-old little girl and a wife to support. So I've quit my job, I worked in sales and advertising, I had my own business before I did this channel, but I quit to watch footy for a living. So, some may say, you're a fool. Some may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Baz, to be fair, you would do a better job. Baz should hire me. They went invincible with Celtic on Football Manager. Won the double. Russell Martin's having a great time. Joe, give us the money. Andy's yours. Liverpool, how much is the green Liverpool top at the back from Darren in East London? I'm not selling them, mate. This is my favourite ever Liverpool kit. I'm not selling them. I just like it. Key, is that South Korean? Yeah, short for Kee Sun Young. No, it's Key as in K-E-E. That's how I've always pronounced it. But yeah, it is Kieran. My Christian name, my birth certificate name is Kieran. But most people have always called me Key. So you can call me whatever you want. People have called me far worse. On a permo, hope there's a lesson for the Celtic board. Don't invest in this. Could be us in the Champions League. Well, we're back off for the second half here. Now, has Russell Martin managed to instill any changes in this Rangers team, or is it going to be more of the same? Let's see. Slabber and Cabbage, as long as you don't employ mods with North Korean attitude, you'll be fine. Well, right now, I'm doing it because there's seldom enough people in for me to need more than just me. But in time, I probably will need a mod. I'll take your advice on board, though, about it not being a Rangers fan. Alex Macklin, Isak wants to go. That's a fact now. X-Keys, I'm Key too. Nice. Noah Sarsons, have you seen Isak's Insta? I have, yeah. I have. We've just been chatting about it. Jake Dam, as a Rangers fan, this is embarrassing. Ashamed of this football club. Knick-knack, once the relationship's broken down, they have nothing to lose. Might as well rinse Liverpool for what they can get. Do we think that's the case, though? Because I do feel like if... Newcastle have to sell him now, surely. Surely they have to sell him. It's going to be impossible for him to keep hold of him at this point. What's happened with Strand Larsen, Joe? Away Larsen, have him, good riddance. Yeah, it'll be about 130, I agree, Alex. I think it'll probably end up being about 130. We'll meet in the middle somewhere. Newcastle want him gone. We're quite happy to have him. 130 probably suits all parties, so I imagine we end up going to about 120 with add-ons to 130 or something like that. Newcastle will accept, they'll get him gone, and they'll go out there and sign, Wisser, Strand Larsen, they'll go and get a couple of players in, and it'll be better for them. They'll be a better team as a result. Ferencvaros won, Karabag won in the other Champions League game. Nick Knack, after £5, I was expecting to pay Amazon to watch the game. Oh, mate, what an absolute sweetheart. Thank you very much for that, mate. You're an absolute star. Certainly not necessary, but I really do appreciate the super chats, the loves, the likes. It's all good. Sharing. Most importantly, give us a subscribe. That really, really helps. So if you do nothing else tonight, give us a like and a sub. Square sausage would rather be a jobby than a one. Nick Knack's super chats are finally working. They are indeed, yes. Give us another 2, Bruges, Jam. Aldo, original Rangers will be rolling in their grave at this result. Rangers pushing forward here down the other end. Claim for a... Oh, I thought he was going to claim for a penalty there. X-Key's 150 for the green shirt, Key. No, you can't have that. That's my absolute favourite. It's my favourite shirt of all time, that. Michael, you can't blame Liverpool for Isak's action in the same way you can't blame Newcastle for Wisser's actions. I think Isak's actions would have been the same if it was Barcelona interested in him. He wants to go, and he's wanted to go since last summer. So, yeah, to each their own. Talks have begun, and he's keen on the move. Gary, are you Celtic or Rangers? Be honest. Honestly, mate, I swear to God, I am neither. I've been to Ibrox and had a lovely... I got shown round the ground and everything at Ibrox when I was about 11 years old. I went up to Scotland with my dad and we basically toured most of the Scottish football grounds. Went everywhere. Went to Pittodrie, Gretna, St Johnstone, but everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. And I saw John Hartson outside Parkhead. And went round Parkhead and... I went to Ibrox, walked into the reception, and the guy came down and showed us around the ground. So I'm neither Rangers or Celtic, but I have got a soft spot for both. Rangers, it's there, 3-1. What a goal that is! Danilo, they're back in it. I told you. What a ball from the left-hand side from Gassama, and there you go. Rangers back in it within 5 minutes. Game on, game on. There you go. Timmy Bing, what an atmosphere it started. There you go. If anything, if you ever doubted me, I'm not a Celtic fan, but I'm not a Rangers fan either. I like the goal. I like the idea of us having a game on tonight. I didn't want Club Bruges to stick 5 or 6 past these. Let's make it a game. Let's make the second leg interesting, because I'll do the second leg as well. But I don't want it to be 5, 6, 7-0, which it could well have been tonight. But Rangers are back in it. There you go. Baz, there's 1. 3 more now, Russell. Alex Macklin, Isak got into the team of the year. Baz, Istanbul was a thing, so sod it. I'm betting the house on Rangers 4-3. Imagine a night like Istanbul tonight at Ibrox. Timmy Bing, I've never doubted Martin to turn this around. Joe, Isak will never get the support he got at us at Hughes, pal. How can you quantify that, though? I don't feel like Newcastle have supported Isak any more than he would get anywhere else. How have Newcastle gone above and beyond for Isak? Pup, hopefully the heads come back up now. Square Sausage, that's a straight red for over-celebrating. Russell Martin does a Jose Mourinho running down the touchline. Alex Macklin, Monday is going to be some game now. Oh yeah, it is. Absolutely. UKW updates. Club Bruges to win 5-1. Dimes is saying it's going to be a penalty. I don't think so. Not just yet anyway. Sabe is getting booked there for a foul on Gassama. Gassama has tore him to shreds here. He's absolutely tore that left back to shreds. Sorry, right back to shreds on the left-hand side. Joe, you're in for a battering on Monday. It's going to be embarrassing for yous. Oh, I'll be live. You'll be at the game, won't you? You'll be watching it back on YouTube. You'll go and check it out. I'll drop your name in a few times, Joe. Whenever the goals go in. Paul, they'll still want the gaffer gone at full time. They can ho what they like. Could it get any worse for Sevco? Give it 10 minutes. I'd love to see Keevins Buster now. I wish I knew what that meant. I wish I knew what that meant. Oh, sorry. Fidders Matty, hello. Have you seen the exact statements? I have, mate. Yeah, we've just been talking about it. Rangers playing it really. They're getting a little bit more joy down that left-hand side now with Gassama up against Sabe. Sabe, of course, now on a yellow card as well. So if I'm Russell Martin here, I'm saying get it down, get it to Gassama every opportunity you can, and get past him. Get your boots white. Get past him, because I'm telling you, they'll still get these down to 10 men. Sabe is getting sent off if he's not careful. Gassama's skinning him. Cheltenham 1, Bromley 2. He's here again. Gassama up against Sabe. Real Madrid 1-0 against Osasuna in Spain. Gassama in to Rangers. Pulls it back. Hit it. Hit it. Oh. Getting plenty more chances here. You can see they're up now. They're really up at Ibrox. The crowd's getting behind them. Empty says hope Ordonez comes in today. I imagine he will. Yeah, I imagine he will. If Rangers can come out of this with a 3-3, it's been a good night. Rangers come out of this at 3-2, it's been a good night. One more, honestly, it's been a great. You'll have snatched your hand off for 3-2 at half time. Nick Knack says it's a funny old game. The slabbing and cabbage. Key, mate, you don't need to hold back when the toilet snorkelers score. Pup, is that the Rangers fans I'm hearing? I hear sectarians singing. No idea, no commentary on, so I have no idea what's going on in the ground. I can just see that the fans are really getting up. Can't hear anything. Sligo boys. On a Permo, Rangers a pish. Bruge almost letting them just play for the sake of it. I don't know about that. Lewis, what game are you watching? We're watching Rangers 1, Club Bruges 3 in the Champions League. Joe says you'll see me on the cameras giving it the big un. Owen Isaac posted an Instagram story about the situation. Yep, just seen it, mate. Just been talking about it. Nick Knack, did Rangers make any subs? No, I don't believe they did at half-time. I don't think there's any subs from either team, to be honest. Oh, no, sorry, I tell a lie. Tresoldi has come on for Vermont, who was the young lad, the goal scorer, the first one. He's come on. Bruges are in. Oh, he should have made it 4-1. Good defending at the back there from Suter. You can see Suter's absolutely furious, raging at his back line, raging at his midfield. You've got to stop that. Who's the left back for Rangers? Magoma. Magoma is abandoning his post. He's just gone nuts at Magoma. Suter. Honor Permo says Ant-Man is crap. He hasn't had a good night tonight. No Rangers sub, says Mad Pup. No, I agree. Square Sausage Mick. Key, what's the difference between an apple and an orange? I don't know. Go on, what's the difference? Tell me. I hope it's PG. This is a family-friendly channel, I'll have you know, sir. Jam should have passed it back rather than through. Yeah, I agree. Club Bruges through the middle. It's gone behind. It's going to be another corner. Sutar again, getting it behind. He's fighting a battle on his own there at the back. Poor fella. TFC, cop 8 to cop shite. It's very nice of you. Onye, do you think Rangers should sign Malacia? I feel like he'd be good there and he'd be cheap. Well, whether he'd be cheap or not, I don't know. But they've got Magoma there. He's not really done well, I think. MT Tresoldi's also a young lad. Tomorrow he turns 21. Yeah, couple of young players up front there for Bruges. Chance, good save from Butland yet again. Great save off the corner from Mekela. Again, the young centre, the experienced centre back of Bruges. Already scored one tonight, and could have been 5 here. No such thing as an apple bastard. Oh, hey. You're gonna get me in trouble. I've put a disclaimer on. I've put a disclaimer on. I am not responsible for any of these chants. Any of these chants, any of these jokes, I barely understand them. Minimoo, they only beat Alloa by a very dodgy pen. What did they expect tonight? That's been a difficult start, certainly. Joe, I'll have my Premier League dad, doesn't show the game flag. CFC, only messing, lad. Love your lives, keep it up. Not good to have you in, mate, honestly. I've had far worse said to me, don't worry. Good to have you in. Thanks for the likes and the shares. Empty, still young, I get it. But Rangers are definitely going to need a little bit more going forward. If Igamane does end up going, I'm not sure that Danilo is going to be enough to really challenge Celtic. I'm not sure he's going to be enough in terms of a Europa League run either, for what it's worth. I think there is positivity with Ant-Man. I think Gassama's top quality. I actually think Gassama, if they're not careful, Gassama's probably a player who gets pinched by the Premier League. They're making a couple of changes here. It's going to be Igamane, I think, about to come on. Who is it? Who's coming on with him? Crawley 1, MK Dons 1. I think it might be Asgard. I think Tilo Asgard's about to come on here. Would this be his debut? Has he already played for Rangers? Or would this be his... I think this might be his debut, isn't it? Don't think I've seen him play so far. Bruge, it's gone behind for a corner, deflection. Fleetwood 1, Crew 4. Square Sausage, Key, how long does it take? Oh, come on. I can't be saying stuff like that. Sevco players fighting for the paychecks. Bruges hanging it up here. Rangers just about get it away. Celtic are going to walk that league, says Clips HQ. Square Sausage about 9 months. Onye, man, you interested in Lucien Agume from Sevilla? Do you know if he's any good? Agume, yeah, he's bounced around a little bit. He's bounced around. He's had one of those sorts of careers where he was, big things were expected of him early doors, and he's been kind of farmed out on loan a couple of times. Had some moves that maybe haven't quite worked out, and he's now finding his feet. I think he's about 24, isn't he? He's now finding his feet a little bit later. But yeah, 35, 36 million. He's certainly the right sort of profile for United. Fast, good tackler, physical. Reminds me a little bit of Bissouma, I guess, at Spurs. In terms of how he plays. He's a decent player for Sevilla. Would be all right. Certainly a good alternative to Ballet, but anyway. Pink Pineapple, good to see you again, mate. How's it going? I am very good. Yes, thank you. Hopefully you are too. Rail, hello to the BDB. What's the BDB? I don't know what the BDB is. I'm assuming that's something, again, that I don't know about and I don't understand. I don't know if I want to know about it. Red Star 1, Paphos 2. Joe, Key, is that guy still egging your gaff? He was in yesterday. Oh, the fella who keeps coming in my lives and saying that he knows who I am, what school I went to, and he knows where to live and he's going to egg my house. You'd be amazed how many absolute weirdos you get coming onto the channel and saying stuff like that. For a normal bloke like me, just coming in saying mad stuff. I've had some really weird messages as well, which I don't know if it's not PG-13. I don't think I could tell you. Finners Matty, what are you watching tomorrow? I am watching Celtic tomorrow, mate. Celtic against Kairat Almaty. Yeah. Joe, is it you on your second account? Yeah, it's me. It's me. I'm creating a fictional stalker on my own account. I've already had a little stalker issue, Again, the channel's only been going 6-7 months. I've already borderline been speaking to the police. Stephen McAnally on YouTube, not worse. Boo at half-time ever. But yeah, tomorrow Celtic and Kairat Almaty is the... Kairat Almaty, Matty. That's what we're watching. And then Thursday we're going to do Rosenborg against Mainz. in the Conference League. That's a 5 o'clock kickoff on Thursday, followed by Crystal Palace against Fredrikstad. Huddersfield 1, Doncaster 0 in Yorkshire. There you go, that's 1-0 up. Jack 01, have you seen Isaac's statement? I have, mate. It's good. It's perfect. It's exactly what we've been saying on this channel for weeks and weeks and weeks, isn't it? Needless to say, I had the last laugh. Hate to say I told you so, and all that jazz. Finners Matty, how many points did you get on your FPL this week? In short, not enough. I don't know where I am in my own Premier League Dad League, by the way, but I'm guessing not very close to the top. Square Sausage Mick, Carrot Almighty, Mini Moo, I'm off to Hibs on Thursday. Hard one, but fingers crossed for us. Yeah, listen, I thought Hibs were really, really unlucky against Midtjylland. We watched both of them games. Hibs-Midtjylland was a really, really good couple of performances, both home and away, and they were really unlucky in the end. But I fancy you will get past Legia Warsaw. They were no great shakes when we watched them against Chelsea. And I know it's a different kettle of fish, Hibs and Chelsea, but I still think you'll get past them over 2 legs. You've got enough quality. Holes AVFC, is that a Valencia kit in the back, the orange one? It is, mate, yes. That is, that's the old guys Comendieta kit from the Rafa Benitez days. I think you asked that earlier, didn't you? Is that you who came in earlier and asked that same question? I'm sure we've already talked about that tonight. Fatah FV, who will win? I put in a bet with Rangers comeback. I don't think Rangers will turn it round. I think there might be one more goal in this. Maybe we'll get a 3-2 and then it's still kind of on for the second leg. It's delicately poised. But if Rangers can get 3-2, I think if you offered that to most Rangers fans now, if you said we can get it to 3-2 going into that second leg, would you take it? I think they would. If you're a Rangers fan watching this now, is that the case? Would you take 3-2 here now? Gives you a chance going into the second leg in Belgium. I would. You didn't play too badly in Panathinaikos. You've certainly got a chance going to Bruges. Still going to be a tough game, but Paul, you shouldn't have given it. You should have given it to charity, big man. Given what to charity? What am I giving to charity? Ferencváros 1, Karabag 2. Jack, I bet it was a handshake agreement gone wrong with Isaac. Mags just need to sell him, to be fair, instead of getting no money. Well, this is it. They've got to sell him now. They've got to sell him. There's no way that he can stay. Knick-knack, the tie was over after 7 minutes. Was it 3-0 at 20? I think it was about 20 minutes they got the third, wasn't it? So it wouldn't be a surprise. Holes, I think Bruges will win, although we beat them. They are a great team. And the third goal... Where was Rangers' defence? The third goal? Surely you mean the first or the second? The third goal was actually a really good goal, I thought. The first goal was pretty bad. Finners Matty, what do you think of the possibility of getting Isaac is now after the statement? I thought before the statement it was a certainty. Or certainly highly likely, let's say. I thought the chance of us signing him before the statement was like 90% it would happen this month. I'm now 100%. Or maybe 99.9. Maybe there is an outside chance, but I'd be very, very surprised. It would be literally it would be tantamount to them shooting themselves in the foot. Rangers down the right-hand side. Antman, it's a good tackle from Says, the fullback. Puts it out for a Rangers corner here. The slabbering carriage, it'll be 5-1, 25 minutes to go. A spinning polka dot clown tie. Sligo boy, this match will end 2-2. That's the bias aligned to them. Sunderland will easily beat them now. Who? Sunderland aren't going to beat Newcastle. Are they? Could they? Chance, Rangers, handball. Hit it! Oh, it's all a bit scrappy and Club Brugge just about get it away. And on the counter-attack, actually, they could... No, Butland. Oh, bit of a heavy touch there from Jack Butland. Bruges are a disgrace. Only 3. It's not good enough. Rangers should have been with 10 for half an hour. Yeah, I do think that Diamande was a lucky boy. I'll give you that. I will give you that. Swindon 0, Barnet 1. Jack, Everton were poor last night. Everton were very, very poor last night. Yes, I agree with that. And they'll certainly struggle in the league this season unless they somehow manage to get themselves maybe 3 or 4 first 11 players by the end of the season. Chance for Bruges. Good save from Butland yet again. Straight at him a bit, that one. But that was better. Port Vale 1, Stevenage 1. Elsewhere. Square Sausage Mick, to be honest, Bruges are a very poor side. I think they're better than you're giving them credit for, mate. They've lost a couple of players, Bruges. So I'll maybe taper the comment that they're fantastic, but they're not. They're not crap. They reached the Champions League knockout stages last year. They've beat City, haven't they, at the Etihad not that long ago. Admittedly, it was a slightly different side, but they gave Villa a hell of a game in the Champions League knockout last year. So they're certainly not a bad side. Wickham 0, Exeter 1. That's a blow for me because I've got Exeter to get beat there. Might have to cash that one quick. Jack, have you got any Sunderland players in your FPL key? No, I haven't got any Sunderland players in my FPL. No, but if I'm dead honest, if you look at my FPL team, I have got a very, very strong... Oh, Ant-Man's not happy coming off here. Really not happy coming off. But he's been subbed. Ant-Man off, Magoma off. And it's going to be Mikey Moore and James Tavernier coming on. Papa John's, you know something, I like this Premier League, dad fella. I like you too, mate. You're a good lad. Solis looks unreal, says Sean McCann. He has had a good night, hasn't he? 2 assists for Bruges. Halls. Bruges beat us because of Ming's handball, the penalty, but other than that, the other games were Bruges. It was just the fact they couldn't score round our defence. But they certainly gave you a game, didn't they? They were alright. Walsall 0, Grimsby 1. Sweet Lord, what's going on tonight? Some bad results coming in here. Walsall and Grimsby, Jesus. I have to wait that one out. Still 25 minutes left in that. 20 minutes left in this one at Ibrox. Nick Nack, you don't want players to be happy coming off though. Well, that's true enough, yeah. You don't want players happy coming off, but you also don't want them kicking off either. Sligo boy says, Bruges playing with Brown. Brogue's on now. Alex Dixon, new to the channel, good stuff so far, and yes, Sunderland will beat Newcastle. Good to have you on the channel, Alex, really appreciate it, mate. Thank you for the like and the subscribe, always massively helps. MT, a couple for starters, and some reserves, and Ordonez would have left if Marseille could give any guarantees they could pay what they were offering. Ordonez is absolute quality. I would quite happily have Ordonez at Liverpool. Very, very good, like really, really good player. Jam, an 18-year-old, in place of... Sorry, I didn't catch that. In place of an experienced Ant-Man. Martin Harlan, this is the poor level of Scottish football, the old firm squawk about being in Europe each season, but it's only because until this season it's been a 2-horse race. Hearts will change this. Hearts are going to change it. There you go, there's fighting words. Gillingham 4, Chesterfield 1, elsewhere. Bad times at Sevco. On a permo, Celtic drew with Bruge only through an own goal last season, and they've sold first team players. You don't know what you're talking about. The Slabber and Cabbage, I've just had a phone call saying the Huns have not left the stadium. They're just a queue at the urinals for drinking water. Oh, God. Tone says Martin House Hearts Cup run going. Carlos Forbes and Sabe coming off. Sabe's on a yellow card, of course. Carlos Forbes coming off of Vetlesen and Meyer, Bjorn Meyer coming on. Again, another young player. Hulls, AVFC, it was great to watch, especially Bruge away when Asensio scored the winning goal. Villa getting Asensio. Are you back in for Asensio? Hulls, thank you for the follow as well, by the way. Really appreciate that. Port Vale 1, Stevenage 2, 92nd minute. Stevenage have pinched it at Vale. Martin Harland, who cares? I'm not a Hearts supporter. I'm just paying attention. It's fair enough, mate. Don't quit. I'm not a Rangers or a Celtic fan. I'm fair enough. Hearts are already knocked out the Premier Cup, says Tone. On a permo just seems a bit biased to me. Who? Martin, I'm guessing. Sligo, Rangers B even withdrew from the Lowland League. Withdrew their 5 stars on the shirt. Pity they did not withdraw when procreate. No. Mini Moo, who did Hearts get in the cup? Ollie, would you still watch these games if you were on holiday for a week? Holiday? That's a thing of the past, mate. I don't get holidays anymore. But yes, absolutely I would. If I am going on holiday, I'll be taking my laptop and my camera and my phone, and I'll be doing it from wherever I am. So yeah, this is the life I've chosen now, mate. This is the life I am building. I watch football for a living. It's a very mediocre, meagre living at the moment, but it's growing-ish, week on week. And in time, hey, who knows? We shall see. But yeah, this is the life I'm building. So I'm looking. If I'm going on holiday anywhere at the minute, I'd quite happily take a week in Rill. That seems like an absolute mirage in future. But yes, I will. I'll be taking my camera. We're doing it. Key, will you wear a mankini tomorrow night? I wouldn't put you through that, Chief. Watching opinions on the Isaac statements. We've just been talking about that, mate. Yeah, we've talked about it quite a lot. I think it just confirms what we've all been saying for quite some time, and I think it almost certainly confirms that he's going to leave the club. So, yeah, it's the right thing to do. Halls, we're in discussion, Villa with that is, we're in discussions with PSG about signing Asensio for a 3-year contract, and that's all that's being said. Okay. Yeah, I think he'd be a good player for Villa again. Here's Rangers down the right-hand side. Really, really poor again. Just it's all sort of breaking down incredibly quickly. Goalkeeper Mignolet panicked a little bit there. Sligo, the real deal. Rill Sun Centre. I shouldn't really be too insulting about Rill, but it is a bit of an SHIT shithole. Unknown. Thing is, though, they won't let him leave until they receive the right money. It's a sticky one. Yeah, well, I think it's a game of who blinks first, mate, because Newcastle will always say it's 150 million, it's 150 million. That's our price, that's our price, that's our price. But Liverpool know if they hang on, that price comes down. It comes down because Newcastle have to sell him. They can't keep him. All this nonsense that you've been hearing for weeks and weeks, in that Newcastle are happy to reintegrate Isak. Yeah, or they'll take him back. They'll get him playing again. They're not bothered. Yeah, they'll play him. It's nonsense. Eddie Howe doesn't want that. Eddie Howe isn't going to put him back in the team. You must be joking me. No chance. It disrupts their entire season if Isak stays. The last thing they want is Isak to stay. So they'll maintain this position of 150 million outwardly, and that's a negotiating tactic. eventually they'll sell him and it'll probably be for about 130. So Liverpool will get their man. It'll be less than the 150. Newcastle will get a good fee. Isak will get the move he wants. Everyone's a winner. Martin, Celtic and Rangers are mid-championship quality at best. Anyone thinking anything else is living in their own bubble. I don't think quite that is the case, no, mate. I think if you put Rangers and Celtic in the Premier League, I think they would hold their own at the foot of the table. But I think if you gave Celtic and Rangers, let's say, the same Premier League money for 2 or 3 years, they would probably be, maybe not 2 or 3, maybe 3 to 5. If you gave Celtic and Rangers 3 to 5 years of Premier League money and TV money and all that sort of stuff, I do think you could get Rangers top half quite quickly. The size of the club, the the interest in the two teams, even given the changes in the SPL. Chance here, must be. It's in, it's 3-2, they've done it! They've done it, Gassama. I told you he was a player that you needed to watch. He is going to cause absolute mayhem for Rangers and for... Honestly, he's such a good player, Gassama. He is an absolute difference maker, this lad. He's still so young. An absolutely unbelievable signing from Sheffield Wednesday. It's poor from Simon Mignolet. As a Liverpool fan, I've seen this before. Gassama skins the fullback. Twice, actually. Skins the fullback, gets in. It rebounds back and Mignolet should dive on it, should have it in his hands, and he doesn't. It's a bit scrappy, it's a bit of a bobble, but Gassama jumps on it, and that's in. That's 3-2. Mignolet doesn't have 2 hands on it. There's nothing wrong with that. Rangers 2, Club Bruges 3. Game on. 10-15 minutes left here at Ibrox. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I told you, they'd snatch their hands off for 3-2. Is there going to be a check? He's going to go and check. If he rules this out now. I tell you what. If this one it's no goal. It's been ruled out. It's going to be a free kick. Oh, goodness me. What a shame. What a shame. Russell Martin, again, not happy. Russell Martin... The bad luck continues for Russell Martin. Rangers 1, Bruges 3. Disappointing, that. Because I tell you what, he did very, very well, Gassama. But again, still time. If you're at Ibrox now, if you're one of those fans, you've got to expect that gives you a real boost. These last 10-15 minutes, can they do something? Keeper clearly had his hands on the ball. Cheating only works against small teams. I don't... Alright, listen. Having both hands, like, he did put him on it, but he didn't have control of the ball, did he? I don't think that was an obvious free kick. Bit unlucky, that one. Knick-knack, surely if Mignolet had it in his hands, it wouldn't have ended up in the goal. No, that's true. If he had control of it, that's my point. Just because he puts 2 hands on it doesn't mean he's got control of it. So I would have thought that was a little bit harsh. Scottish ref would have given that fact, says Mini Moo. I agree. Keeper had his... No one's saying he didn't have his hands on the ball, Jam. He did have his hands on the ball for sure, but if you put your hands on the ball like that doesn't mean you've got control of it. You need both hands on it, like totally on it and control of it. He didn't. Wickham 0, Exeter 1. That one's finished. Thank you for the follow, Joe. Appreciate it. Bas van Duursen, I need that second goal. Empty, he had control. Never heard so much crap as you talk, says Stephen Gallagher. You want to pop round hours and listen to my message for a bit then? Honor Burhammer, what does playing in the Champions League and getting results equate to Martin? Hands are clearly on the ball. Again, no one's saying he didn't have his hands on the ball. No one's saying he didn't have his hands on the ball. Square Sausage, make 2 or 3 of the home players gave the ref a dirty look for me. That's a straight red for all 3 of them. Torn says he kicked the goalie's arm. He kicked it off. It was borderline GBH, that. FM No Casuals, first Bradford away win since last season. Dear me, Sky Sports, dear me. This is better than Sky Sports, Key. Empty, he had control, but if foot comes in at speed, you can't keep it in your hands. Maybe. Like I said, I still think it was unlucky. I don't think it was the wrong decision, but I think it's unlucky. He said that quiet. Yeah, because just in case she might be watching or watches it back. James, are you sure you're a Liverpool fan? It sounds like Rangers at heart. Why? What? Because I'm trying to, support the home team. Listen, I'll be like this for Celtic tomorrow. Celtic against Kairat Almaty. Unless more of these Rangers fans start giving me abuse, or more of these Celtic fans start giving me abuse, I might suddenly start wearing me Kairat Almaty kit for tomorrow night. I'll dig it out from somewhere. Square Sausage Mick. Oh, sorry, Martin. Because just like Scotland, other poor national leagues also get to put clubs into European competitions. Same bubble. Stephen McAnally thinks it'll be 4-1. Thinks there's another goal in this. Rangers coming forward. Hit it! What are you doing? Pulls it back. Good save from Mignolet. Edward, how's it going? Good to see you. Stephen McAnally, you're biased. Francis Totten, that goal would have stood in the SPFL. I agree. That's why I thought it was a bit harsh. Kee will be wearing a mankini tomorrow. Just to try and get the crowd up. Try and get the numbers up. Winner, winner, big fat Bruges dinner, says Tone. Igamane's danced through the defence there, but when he's actually got into a position where he needs to deliver an end product, he can't quite get it. But it's a corner here to Rangers. Opportunity to put the ball in. Swung in near post and cleared away quite easily by Bruges. Mini-moo, that disallowed goal just proved how biased Scottish refs are. Here we go. Ball out to the right-hand side for Rangers. Good ball in. Mignolet takes it quite easily. Lucas, thoughts on the Isak situation, mate? Honestly, we've talked it to death tonight, but I would say up to this point, I thought he was going to go before the statement. I was 90% sure he was going to leave before the statement. I'm now 99.9% sure that he's going to leave because they can't keep him, can they? So, yeah, I'm of the opinion that Isak will leave, should leave. Newcastle should sell him, have to sell him. And I actually don't think he's acted all that badly. I think Isak has done the right thing throughout. And again, all the people who are having a go at Isak and saying that he should have had it written down. It's only a gentleman's agreement. It's not worth the paper it's written on. It's not worth the paper it's written on. It's absolutely shocking. Well, hang on a minute. If you had an agreement with someone, even if it was just a gentleman's agreement, even if it was just a handshake, and they looked you in the eye and they shook your hand and they said, I will do this for you, and then they don't end up doing it, you're allowed to be upset. You would be upset, wouldn't you? I'd be upset. That's how I live my life. Handshakes and agreements. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. If someone says they're going to do something, I expect them to do it. Contracts and all that sort of thing. You have to have it to protect you, but you still expect people to act like good, decent human beings. If they say they're going to do something, they'll do it. Tone, maybe sell away to Saudi. Nah, you don't want to go to Saudi. FM No Casuals, Robbie Keane Howler against Karabakh. Newcastle playing the victim. I just feel like Newcastle they've maybe been a little bit ignorant to the situation. Like almost we can ignore it and it'll go away. They've not promised Isak a move. They've just maybe he's informed them that he's going to leave and he's going to do this unless they sort something out, and they've just kind of willfully ignored it all the way along. And they've not had the ducks in a row. They've not really been all that organised and got a plan in place. It feels like Newcastle have bounced from one player to the next without any sort of cohesive plan, and that is what's unforgivable. That's why Newcastle fans, for the most part, Joe, I'm not speaking for you, but it feels like most Newcastle fans I've spoke to have been quite annoyed with how their summer has gone. Forget the whole Isak situation. They've been really disappointed with it. Nick Nack, what have Newcastle done wrong though? Should they have just taken the first bid that came in? Well, that's being like a 14-year-old girl level of dramatic Nick Nack. Come on. I'm not saying that they should have just accepted the first bid, whatever. No, I'm not saying that. They're absolutely allowed to drive a hard bargain. Of course they are. He's their player. They can accept whatever offer they want. What I'm saying is they should responsibly and reasonably facilitate a move for their employee, right? If he is asked to leave 12 months in advance, even if it's only 3 months in advance, even if it's only 3 months and they've told him, you know, we don't want to sell you, and he said, well, I want to leave. That's how a relationship works. That's a business relationship. He doesn't want to be there. It has to be mutual. You can't be keeping players at a club, irrespective of the contract and what's written down. If someone wants to leave somewhere, why would you want to keep him, for one? But you shouldn't try. Like, it's immoral. He doesn't want to be there. Let him go. Square Sausage, Newcastle, horrible Huns. I am Kirklander, here to watch the Huns struggle in Europe again. On a per note, Isak has apparently been saying for the past season or two he wanted this to be his last season anyway, and Newcastle were just like, yeah, but are almost pricing Liverpool out. Well, yeah, I mean, again, true enough that they're, they're just doing this as a negotiation tactic. Jake, Isak, broken promises isn't a contract, a promise. Isak needs to hand in a transfer request, I think, because you haven't given us the right price yet. You can't down tools regardless, says FM No Casual. He hasn't down tools, though. He hasn't down tools, because they haven't fined him. If he'd down tools, they'd have fined him. He's still turned up. He's still gone to training, as he's contractually obliged to do. He's turned up to training every single day. Eddie Howe has separated him from the rest of the squad. It's Newcastle who've isolated him. He's not refused to play. He's just told Newcastle that, look, my head's kind of up my arse. I don't really feel like in the right state of mind to play. Nick Nack, maybe Isak shouldn't have signed a 6-year contract. But again, players do. You can't. Otherwise, it'd just be 1-year contracts all round, wouldn't it? Rolling 1-year contracts. That's not how football works. I mean, and you know that. That's not me. You know that. You know that's not how football works. Contract or no contract, if a player says he wants to leave, then you should try your best to make that happen. If it can't happen, then you should reasonably say, okay, fair enough, well, we can't make it happen this season, but we can look at it next season. That's what's happened with Isak, and he's worked to his absolute best ability in the meantime, so I like that. He isn't an £150 million player. Newcastle are wet wipes, says Azza 2898. Jake, he trains, yes, but he's made himself unavailable on a match day. He'll be fined. Howe said he's on control. But he hasn't, he hasn't made himself unavailable on a match day. Because if he has, then he would be fined. So Newcastle haven't fined him. Joey, someone's not walking away from St James's without crutches on Monday. Well, they've got Simon Hooper in charge of that game. And Simon Hooper is the referee, famously, who got told that there is a goal for Liverpool against Spurs. We've checked it, it's a goal. And Simon Hooper went, right, great, let's play on. So, yeah, Simon Hooper, a notoriously competent referee, is handling the Newcastle v Liverpool game on Bank Holiday Monday next week. Thank you, Azza, for the heart, mate, for the gift and the follow. Really appreciate it. Square Sausage, Mick, what has a jobby and a hun got in common? Quite a lot. Oh, hey. Robin Knight, Martin, out. They might just be able to get something in these last few minutes. There's 4 more minutes of added on time here at Ibrox. Can they make it work? It's a yellow card for... Is it for Tilo Asgard? I think it is. Clattered the young sub. Jake, Isak is in control, Howe said. It's Isak who's made himself unavailable. That's your determination of it, isn't it? You've said that Isak has made himself unavailable. That doesn't mean he actually said, I am not playing. It means he said today. He could have said to Eddie Howe, listen, my head's not in the right frame of mind. No, Eddie Howe hasn't said that Isak has made himself unavailable. He hasn't said Isak has refused to play. That's the key word. He hasn't said that. He hasn't said at any point that he's refused to play. 3-star Reds, Palace v Forest gets Anthony Taylor. The Slabbering Cabbage, Bloom talks, boom, it's on his way and many like him. He'll be handed his cap and told to return to wherever he thinks he's come from, probably Eastern Europe. Jake, Isak said, Isak's in control. If he says, I want to play, he can play, but he's not turning up. Yeah, but that's right though, isn't it? That's right. If Isak said, I want to play, then he would play. He doesn't really want to play, but that doesn't mean he's refusing to play. There is a middle ground there. If he said to Eddie Howe, listen, like, my head's up my arse, I'll play, but I don't really feel like playing, Eddie Howe would be remiss to play him. So that's why he can't play. So it's not that he's made himself unavailable. FM No Casuals, can't believe people are excusing Isak's behaviour. I can't believe people are so dismissive of Newcastle's behaviour themselves. Like, if you don't... Why are we so dismissive of a club not honouring agreements? If you... I feel like what's the right way to leave a football club? I feel like the right way to leave a football club is to let them know you'd like to leave 12 months in advance, work your socks off for them for 12 months, help them get all of their goals, win their first trophy in 70 years, get them in the Champions League, get in the team of the year, you're one of the best players, you do really, really well, and you do all that while wanting to leave, and then the summer after you expect the club to kind of help you out and get you the move that you're looking for. So for me, I think Newcastle have acted really poorly. Putting a clause in a contract, if this bid comes in, you can go. Yeah, but that is still... All that is doing is formalising a gentleman's agreement, isn't it? Like, why isn't the gentleman's agreement just honoured? Surely you would just expect reasonable, fair, good faith people to act in good faith. That's what you would expect. Nick Knack, as a Liverpool fan, this is what you want to happen. It is, of course it is. But that doesn't mean that I can't see beyond my own wants and needs. You know, I can certainly look beyond that. That doesn't mean I'm doing it based on Liverpool. If it was a Liverpool player in this same circumstance, I'd say the same. The only difference is Liverpool don't promise players moves, or don't promise players that, you know, if you want to leave, you leave. Generally, they go. And Newcastle fans will think Liverpool have acted really poorly. But Liverpool haven't done anything wrong short of coming and letting a player know they want him and letting the club know they want him. Liverpool have done absolutely nothing wrong. Jake, surely when signing a contract, you're expecting him to honour it. No, you don't. You don't. And what's the point in a contract, FM No Casuals? Again, they're not worth the paper they're written on in football. As soon as a player signs... Again, answer me this question. If Chelsea players are signing 8-year contracts, is it because they're expecting to stay at Chelsea for 8 years? Or is it because it helps the club from a financial fair play point of view? It's the latter. It's nothing to do with the we're all determined to stay for that. Behave yourself. There's nothing to do with that. Nick Knack, it's called cognitive bias. We're all prone to it. No, I agree. But that doesn't mean that you can't look past it. You're saying that because I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm incapable of talking about Liverpool without putting that bias aside. I completely disagree. Bruge are in. Oh, it could be 4. Oh, they've just about got it away. Silver Fox, Trent didn't want to stay. Nothing you could do. That's right. Exactly. Jake, Toon can make him rot 3 years. Yep, they can. They can make him rot 3 years. But why would they? Why would they? What would be the point in that? It wouldn't make sense for anyone. Jake, I still don't think Newcastle said 1 year ago, Isak, you can leave, was the week before the Celtic game. But again, you're going to think that, aren't you, as a Newcastle fan? There's no evidence to suggest that. All the reporters are saying that that's not the case. But you're going to believe that that's the case because you are a Newcastle fan. Right, Rangers 1, Club Bruges 3. This one's finished. We'll be back for the second leg. I can promise you that. Second leg in Bruges next week. Rangers 1, Club Bruges 3. Are we going to see Are we going to see Rangers turn it around? It's going to have to be quite some performance in Belgium. A disappointing night at Ibrox. I think in hindsight, after that first half, 3-0 down, they'll be very, very happy that they've managed to get away from this only 3-1. It's not the end of the world. They can turn it round. But I think it's going to be a difficult one for Russel Martin and his players back in Belgium. We'll be back for that next week. The tie is over, says Nick Knack. Booze all round. Listen, a huge, huge thank you to everyone that's watched and followed tonight. If you can give us a like, give us a subscribe, please, please do so. I will be live tomorrow night for Celtic against Kairat Almaty. If you're a Rangers fan, you want to get your own back tonight, you want to get your own back on some of these Celtic fans, get in the chat tomorrow night. Celtic and Kairat Almaty in their own Champions League qualifier at Parkhead. So I will be live for that one tomorrow. Take it easy, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a nice night.